Well, good morning and welcome to the fourth and final day's play of this West Indies four-day championship clash between the TNT Red Force and the Leeward Islands Hurricanes. The Leeward Islands breathing life into the encounter for Trinidad and Tobago by giving them a victory target of 342, which is very difficult on this track. Trinidad and Tobago, they wiped off 26 of those yesterday evening, and they're joining me this morning and to give his prediction will be the former West Indies opening batsman, one of the most feared batsmen, we have to call him now, Philo Wallace. Good morning, Philo.
Good morning, Vidu. Good morning to our listeners and viewers on this live stream. Compliments of Cricket 360 in collaboration with Cricket West Indies. This lovely fourth day of this third encounter, the second game for Trinidad and Tobago Red Force. But the Leewards obviously have their heads in front at this stage, requiring another 316 to win. The 26th of Outlaws Hope and Solozano weathered the storm last night. But this is a new day. The pitch, Vinu, to me, I like the way the pitch looks. It looks like a good 4-day pitch. Cracks in the right areas. They're going to obviously challenge the batsmen from the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force. But with the energy that the Leeward Island Hurricane bowlers showed yesterday and in the first innings as well, when they bowl at the Red Force batsmen, you will believe that if they can get it right this morning quite early, that this game could be over. But Trinidad and Tobago Red Force, I'm not going to put it out of their reach. It just calls for application.
Well, hope it's going to begin this morning for Trinidad and Tobago. Delivery on the legs, just leaning into it, flipping it forward of square. There is no run. 26 without loss, and today we're hoping for good weather on this final day. There are some clouds about, but they're very high, and there's a very stiff wind that has been present here for the entire match.
And obviously, Louis has been given the honours to open the bowling, and he moves away from us again. Pass umpire Patrick Gustard to Hope. Ball that comes back into the bats, a loud appeal. The ball seemed to have struck him maybe on the tie pad.
Could have been heading down the leg side as well. Hope is a tall man, so if he's struck on the tie pad, it'll also be bouncing over the stumps as we see in this replay here. Going down the leg side clearly there, Philo.
Yes.
So,
but again, the effort from Jeremiah Louis getting that ball to actually nip back off a length. Hitting Hope on the tie pad and clearly going down the leg side. But I like Jeremiah Louis, if you know that. And if the West Indies selectors are doing their homework correctly, this guy can't be far away from a selection.
yes, reminds me so much of Jerome Taylor running into bowl. You look at him, very rhythmic approach to the crease. I was very, very impressed with him since last year. And we saw him at the Queen's Park Oval.
Yes, and he continues to improve. He obviously put on 2 ounces in muscle. So he looks a lot stronger. And you can see it. He really enjoys bowling, and he's enjoying his cricket here.
Seems to enjoy batting as well.
Yeah, he got 51 all down, so he's not a slouch.
Good delivery just on and about the off stump. And good running as well by Hope. Just pushing it through the cover region. Gets a single. And they're off and running. 27 without loss.
There's obviously a lot of responsibility here on Kyle Hope. He went to England with the West Indies team. I thought he was a bit unfortunate not to go to Zimbabwe. And obviously he will want to try to make amends. There's some positions up for to show character. If you can repeat what Monson Hodge has done actually in this game, Monson Hodge has shown that application at the top of the order, common sense and game awareness, you can get runs. But it's going to call for a lot of concentration here. They need to dig deep.
Solozano, if Trinidad and Tobago had to get anywhere close to that target, Solozano has a big role to play.
Well, he played it in the first innings. He should repeat in the second.
Yes.
Because he's the one, Solozano, that can lead them.
And
you don't have to be flamboyant to be a leader, you know.
And he has been in form.
Yeah, well, it just goes to show the importance, of scoring runs in trials. Because that's where the form started and has continued into the professional, the Windies cricket season. And these are things that young cricketers need to take note of. That there are certain steps that you have to take to get to various levels in one's careers. and you just can't leapfrog certain basic principles.
Well pitched up delivery and well played by Solozano. Might have wanted to have gotten that straighter, but it's fielded there at mid-off. There is no run. It's the end of the first over of the day's play. 27 without loss. The latest score at the Brown Lion Cricket Academy. Monday morning, we want to wish all the nation's children all the best for the new school term, with school reopening after a long break for the Christmas festivities. Christmas actually, I think the last day of the Christmas season was yesterday. Effectively ended yesterday, the 12 days of Christmas. And Trinidad and Tobago will be hoping for an early present for the new year by bringing a victory here. It'll take a tremendous effort. I'll tell you something. It's something that if they could achieve, and turn around their season for them, the confidence that they would gain from it. It's very, very difficult. And it's good to be here on a Monday morning. Life must be good, Philo Wallace, on a Monday morning when people are busy hustling and trying to get into their offices to face those mean bosses. You're here at cricket.
Yeah, well, this is a job for us, if you know. A taxi driver brought me down this morning, and I honestly believe he robbed me.
Oh, that's a wonderful delivery there by Berridge, first up, right up into the block hole and dug out by Hope. And Hope would have heard whilst the bowler was running in that his fellow Barbadian Philo Wallace was robbed in Trinidad this morning.
But not really robbed. Normally it's $14 from Shukwanas down to the bottom of the road. So the guy asked me if I'm going, and I said yes. So he charged me another $11. So he charged me another fare to go to San Fernando. So I call it robbing.
Well, he charged you. Let's be fair to the guy Philo. He charged you $11 for half a kilometer, and then gave you a discount by charging you $14 for 14 kilometers. Let's look at it at the bright side.
Okay, I'm here and I'm alive and I'm happy. But I wouldn't take that taxi again. And you know what he told me? He said, "Sir, I'm old school. You can trust me. I drive well."
I guess that's the important thing. He drove well, so you're here, and we're very glad that you're here in one piece.
Yes. Shot.
Oh, that's a lovely shot by Hope. Just back of a length, and Hope just standing tall and punching it through the cover region for 4. So that'll give him a lot of confidence. 31 without loss.
Oh, that's bread and butter for Carl Hope. A short ball and no pace. Just standing up tall on his back foot and just punching it through backward point for 4. Just shows the class of this young man. But as you know, as Bridge was saying, Alan was saying as well, and yourself, runs brings confidence. And if you don't get any runs, you don't have any confidence. I say we're speaking to Yannick Correa as well, and he's down on confidence because of lack of runs. So I told him you need to go back into your memory bank and draw on the resources of how you used to score runs.
Good delivery by Berridge, and this is played back on the offside. There is no run.
You know, I have to keep saying I'm really impressed. The wind which the Leeward Island volcano bowlers are bowling. Look at Berridge. He's running in. He's hitting the deck. The ball is bouncing. This is a 4-day pitch, you know. And Kyle Hope has to defend short balls that are rising just about mid-chest. So obviously the energy level is up, and they're putting the ball in the right areas.
Outside the off stump, and it goes through the field, and the offside is running away, and this should get into the boundary for 4. So another boundary fortuitous, as a bad bit of fielding in the cover region. That's 4. So the score goes on now to 35 without loss, and just 1 or 2 spectators in the stands at the probably those who have retired or those who are on holidays. They're still here looking at the cricket. And walking into the stadium this morning, a gentleman approached me and he said, "Listen, do you think Trinidad and Tobago could win this game?" I said, "It's going to be very, very difficult for Trinidad and Tobago to win because you're playing with 2 factors. The fact that they're batting on the last day, some of the deliveries keeping low, and also Trinidad and Tobago is an out-of-form batting unit at the moment. They're low on confidence." He said, "Listen, I believe that they can get this victory, but you need to do something for me." I said, "What is that?" He said, you need to start the commentary this morning and to make it positive for Trinidad and Tobago, and you have to have that guy who's always laughing with you, Philo Wallace. Well, we are doing our part here, Philo.
Yeah,
Let's see if that guy knows what he's saying.
Kyle Hubbard started well, actually, looking to execute good shots by getting into good positions, and that is a good sign. And I like the way how we actually presented the back face to that final delivery there from Behrens. Behrens seems to be getting the ball to go away slightly, but the full presentation of the back face tells me that obviously he's allowing his left hand to do more work. Normally we'll see Kai Hope with that bottom hand, and we call it in Barbados a cane cutter, looking to drag that bottom hand through the shots. But it's a good presentation, so he has to do that for a very long time.
Keeping it steady, Jeremiah Louis from this end. Not as pacey as Shino Berridge.
I like him. But I'm surprised that they didn't go into Raheem Cornwall straight away, because I believe that he's the trump. Once he gets wickets, it gives the entire team, the Leeward Island Hurricanes team, that confidence, because he is obviously their trump.
And he locks up an end as well. So I think pretty soon, if there is nothing for the Leewards to shout about, they will be bringing him on. Oh, that's an audacious shot. Look at that, Philo Wallace. That'll wake up anyone on a Monday morning. Through the covers for 4.
Oh, that was super. That was silky smooth. It just goes to show the confidence of Jeremy Solozano, getting his right foot out to the pitch of the ball and just easing his levers through it and beating Saunders to his left and down to the extra cover boundary for 4. A fantastic shot.
I think the operative word there was easing. He just eased through that. Yeah. And that was 4. No big fuss. Very attractive looking shot. 3 boundaries will give Trinidad and Tobago a lot of confidence now. The score is 39 without loss.
And this is what they need to do, the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force. They still require another 303 runs to win this game, but they need to show, that positive intent.
That's a brilliant delivery. Angle across the left-hander. He played at it, and it was too good to take the edge. Through to the wicket-keeper.
And good carry as well. Hamilton not really the tallest of keepers. He's about 5 feet in height, just 5'1". The ball carry to his shoulder, his left shoulder, and he took it quite nicely. But then again, the effort delivery from Jeremiah Louis understands bowling, understands what lines and lengths are required, and also what pace.
Yes. I see 2 vultures circling the ground. Probably realized that Philo Wallace brought food this morning.
I brought fruit.
Fruit? You're on a diet, sir?
No, sometimes you just need to ease off the other things that you're accustomed eating. So and when you get to a certain vintage, if you look at Bridge Sparks now for our fellow commentator, he's quite slim, nice skin.
Yes.
And he's not the youngest of commentators, but he has a good lifestyle.
Yes.
He eats well.
Tells me he has a feast on dosa. So I want to say good morning to his daughter Sharida, who is also a cricket statistician, and Bridge tells me that she normally makes all these dosas for him.
He eats a lot of plantain too.
Don't give Bridge too much credit. It's his family. They keep he's a very wayward guy, but they keep him in line.
Oh my God, that's gotta be a broad line.
Yes, he loves to eat cake, but they always take it away from him. Hence, he's looking so smashing at the age of 82. Quietly played on the onside there by Solozano. So it's not very bright here at the Brown Stadium this morning. But Philo, if you look forward, you will see an up. You realize how quickly the clouds are moving away.
But obviously the wind is quite high, because if you look to our left here,
yes,
the Trinidad and Tobago flag is flying quite nicely, very stiff breeze. There's no Leeward Islands.
Well, I was just about to ask that. I haven't seen
There's
that.
no Trinidad and Tobago Cricket Board flag. There's no flag that symbolizes the Brown Cricket Academy as well. And I think those are things that the authorities need to look at.
Simple things, but important.
Yes, they have 5 flag poles, and there's only 1 flag, the Trinidad and Tobago flag.
Yes. Remind me for the fifth day's play tomorrow, I should walk with a Cricket 360 flag and hoist it on the pole.
Yeah, but I'm waiting for my shirt. I have one. Unfortunately, I don't have a washer and a dryer. So I can only wear it for one day, and that's not nice, Vinod.
Yes.
I like them because they blend in well with the colors that I wear,
Yes,
particularly my trousers.
Yes. It's
Bridge has the tie to the shirt, and I don't. It's not how you give Bridge a tie to match the shirts, and no other person has.
I think this year we'll be all well equipped with a lot of garments.
The umpires have more clothes than us.
Probably we can look at the ties and the shirts. I think for 4-day cricket we should don long sleeve shirts like Bridge Parsnap. Let's be professional. Let's take a page out of the book of Bridge Parsnap.
And he's written many books, I was told. I'm yet to read one.
I'm yet to be given one. I remember a regional journalist wrote a book recently, and he said, "Could you write a review on this on the Trinidad Guardian, because then sales could increase?" I said, "No problem." So he brought the book for me. They're gonna come back for 2. Good running here, good presence of mind by Kyle Hope. He turned with the bat in the right hand, so he was open to see they are represented behind square, and he was able to come back for 2. So the journalist presented me the book.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Please do a review on this." So I took the book, and then he put his hands out. He said, "You have 20 US for me." Of course, I gave it to him, and I gave him glowing review with the book. Let's hope it's going well. And you say you were robbed. This delivery is pushed away to point. There is no run.
Kyle Hope looks good, I must admit. He's getting his feet. He's moving his feet, which is good. You see him there just trying to shuffle around to keep that blood flowing. But what I like to the approach with Hope and Solozano is that they're both scoring. Hope is on 17 already from 37 balls. Solozano is 20 from 44. But the running between the wickets and pushing that first man hard, looking for the second, that is good. Because if they're going to get up to 346, they need to run well between the wickets.
This is Hope standing tall again, not really getting hold of this one. He plays it down to point. There is no run. So a good start by Trinidad and Tobago on the final day. They're 41 without loss. They've added 15 in no time, 3 boundaries.
342 is the target. It's a big target when you look at it, but if you break it down to 3 sessions, it can become quite small. But obviously the key is wickets in hand.
Yes, and a scattering of spectators. You have 3 in the southeastern stand. You have 3 in the southwestern stand. You probably have about 10 on the northwestern stand, which is a popular stand here. And on the northeastern stand, I think you have 2. Alan Gopal from Alcon's Construction is telling me that they are workers. I don't know if they're his workers.
So let's say there are about 20 people here.
Yes.
And the West Indies selector will make 21.
Sibo is there in his mint green. You can see him straight across.
Yeah, he supports the Windward Islands right through.
Yes.
Their colors are green.
Seems to have a lot of those shirts there. Good old Sibo.
But we're seeing Berings, watching him, from that southern end, he's actually getting the ball to outswing. That last delivery did outswing, but the line and length was wrong.
Louis again. And Louis seems to be attacking young Solozano on his leg, middle and leg stumps. Solozano is not falling over. He's standing nice and upright, and he's negotiating it well thus far. Something they might have seen, Winston Benjamin would have seen probably during the course of the first innings.
Yeah, Vincent Benjamin is quality fast bowler and batsman as well. But when you look at the way how Solozano is playing, Vinudo, you're right. He's presenting a full bat face on a lot of the deliveries that are bowled to him.
Outside the off stump, he allows this one to go by. A bit of shape. Hamilton claps at behind the stumps, applauds the bowler.
He got a pair in this game that would obviously have set him back in relation to confidence. But his keeping it looks pretty good. And I think that all he needs to do is transfer that positiveness in his keeping to his batting, but with more caution. He's a bit too loose with the bat. Doesn't give himself enough time to get in. Solozano, on the other hand, he gives himself a lot of time by playing a lot of balls.
Outside the off stump, and Solozano allows this to go by again. He has really improved here, Jeremy Solozano. Ever since the trials began a couple months ago, he has been on the ball. He opened the trials with 144.
Yeah, well, obviously he's been playing cricket as well. I think he went up to Barbados and played a couple of matches up there. And these are things that need to be encouraged, via the territorial boards. This Cricket West Indies, where these directors from the territorial boards meet ever so often. And these are the things that should be discussed to get some of the better young cricketers from the region to move to the other regions and play. It doesn't have to be a whole year.
It's a well-pitched up delivery that's played back to him.
But
it's a no ball.
as well.
So no ball signal by the umpire.
So
score goes on to 42.
So it's like, 2 or 3 months of playing cricket in a different territory, just to get them accustomed to different conditions. Because if you ask Jeremy Solozano after this game, if the pitch at Taru reminds him of any pitch he has played in the region, he might say yes, because of the experience of playing there. And that's the way you learn. And I would like to see those exchange programs happening a bit more often.
Good delivery. Solozano is equal to the task again. And just recently, I was doing some commentary on domestic cricket in Barbados. It was a match involving Guardiola.
Yes.
Very close to the Crane. Was it St. Andrews South? Is it? Was there a place like that? Was it Phillips South?
No. Guardiola was formerly Cable and Wireless.
Mm-hmm.
And they moved down to, their ground is Wildy.
Yes.
Just behind the Samuel Jackman Prescott Polytechnic.
Yes.
Just below CBC, the Caribbean Broadcast Corporation television station.
Well, the game was actually taking place up at very close to the Crane.
Yeah, but there's a ground up St. Philip. Yeah, Rice's, is it?
Yes,
Rice's. Yeah.
Rice's.
Yeah.
Yes, and at that game, you had Rishi Jaipal. I was surprised to see Rishi Jaipal bowling. Yeah. He's from Trinidad and Tobago. He's a fringe national player as well. And he was getting the experience of playing there.
Yeah, a lot of Trinidadians do go over to Barbados and play. And a lot of Guyanese come here and play as well.
Yes, they come to Trinidad.
And because local cricket here is so low-key, that, it's hard for the people of the public Trinidad and Tobago to know the players who actually come from overseas.
Well, I think Cricket 360 may well do something about that this coming season because it's a costly affair, but like in Barbados, where the BCA, since 1981, they have been funding cricket commentary, domestic cricket commentary on the radio, where they set up at one venue and then the scores come in. Mm-hmm. So they do one venue each round. And on that occasion, I was there just as a guest commentator with Andrew Mason, who's the man in charge of it. And he had on the panel, together with me, Roland Butcher, the former England batsman, and Keith Holder, a very dear friend of yours. Mm-hmm. And they funded that. This delivery is on the legs of hope. It's clipped away to mid-wicket. And the Trinidad and Tobago Cricket Board, for all their troubles, one has to be fair. I think they need to look, probably after the elections, whoever is in power, they need to look at that. Look at marketing your cricket. So when you go to a sponsor, a prospective sponsor, then they know what you're speaking about.
And the thing is to Barbados is that they will have various commentators at the grounds, and they use a telephone, mm-hmm. and they will obviously at certain intervals ask them what is just updates on the score in the various matches. And this happens at the top level, and then they'll pick the two best from the lower divisions, I think, to also give updates, because it's about developing the cricket.
But and you can't beat Barbados with that, because I remember going to St. Catherine's. I was being driven to the ground at Rice's, but we went to St. Catherine's first as Andrew Mason's home ground. He never played really, but he supports that club. Telston Payne is the coach there, and Andrew wanted me to have a look at that young man, Derek Bishop. And Bishop was really bowling well that day. Young Smith, the wicketkeeper, who did some commentaries with us during the test matches last year. Jamal Smith was there, had a good look at that game, and then we went across the Rises. But at St. Catherine's, Philo, you had a facility where you had about, I would say, 150 people
Yeah.
for
The club-
domestic match. That's
Yeah, the clubs
plenty
have their
people.
following. You got to remember that the community clubs as well.
Mhm.
You know, St. Catherine's in the parish of St. Philip and the community of St. Catherine's, they will have their followers that will come down. And St. Philip being the biggest parish, and St. Catherine's doing well. Yes, Derek Bishop is the leading all-rounder, one must say, in domestic cricket in Barbados. He is obviously leapfrog the Winston Reid, the former Barbados left-arm spinner.
You can't get into the Barbados team.
Yeah, for
why,
one-
why choke the Bishop?
For more reasons than one.
More reasons
you know,
than one. Okay.
When I was at home, I was a selector, and the panel keep inviting Derek Bishop to trials, and he keep making excuses, and he would not turn up. So a decision was made. Look, this guy seems not to be interested in cricket, but he continued to play. He played with me when I captained UWI as well in the regional one-day competition some years ago in Antigua, and he just just would not turn up for trials. So I believe the selectors got fed up. But he continued to play for St. Catherine's, and he continued to do well.
Very, very well.
So you call the man the trials, he's not coming, but he's playing local cricket. So
Yeah.
that is the predicament that the selectors found themselves in. And they just decided, look, let him play this cricket and enjoy it. But it's up to the selectors now to really weather that storm. And it's just unfortunate.
Yep.
But life goes on.
Yes, Sheeno Berridge bowls a maiden over as the action continues here, 42 without a loss. Yeah, it's very sad indeed because the man obviously has talent. But we're now learning this morning. Andrew didn't tell me this, but we're learning this morning from a former Barbados selector, Philo Wallace, that he was invited to try. He just probably doesn't like to go to trials. He couldn't have been an attorney at law.
No, he would never could never be an attorney at law. You need to obviously go to court and defend a client if you to be a really true attorney. But sometimes guys will perform at the domestic level and they're quite happy. Trials comes around, you invite them and they don't come. What do the selectors do? Keep inviting you? If you invite me at your house 1,000 times and I don't come 999 times, you can invite me the next time?
And the one time I didn't invite you, you would speak about it, which is what is happening with Derek Bishop. Not being invited now, and all of a sudden they make
they're making
a big noise.
Big thing about it. And I think that he said he wants to play. But at the end of the day, when the opportunities were there, you did not grab the opportunities. Yes, he's grown up, he's matured, and obviously that has been a long time. But as I'm not in Barbados, it's just mind-boggling. But sometimes the truth needs to be told instead of just patching the holes. Just dig it out, fill it, and patch it forever. And I think the Derek Bishop saga needs to come to an end and let the people know what's going on truthfully and just move the cricket forward.
Good delivery here by Jeremiah Louis. Just on about the off stump. That one came back into Solozano. Pushes it on the offside. There is no run. 42 without loss. So they need exactly 300 here now, Philo.
Yes, and Solozano and Kyle Hope has put on 42 runs, which is a good partnership. But they need not to get bogged down. We're seeing some good bowling, yes, from the Leeward Island Hurricane bowlers. But these two still need to try and rotate the strike. I don't think that Hope has faced a lot of Jeremiah Louis this morning. Since the first over, I don't think Hope has faced him. It was all Solozano. And that is something that they need to work on.
Which tells me that they haven't gotten singles this morning. Because Hope has been operating at the northern end and Solozano at the southern end. So far, so good for Trinidad and Tobago. They haven't lost a wicket, 42 without loss. On social media, the Trinidad and Tobago Cricket Board, the Trinidad and Tobago Cricket team has been bashed consistently over their performances in recent times. So they will want to answer back here, the players. Outside the off stump and allowed to go by. Good judgment shown so far by the young man.
Yeah, but you can't be vexed with the stakeholders of Trinidad and Tobago's cricket for being angry.
You can't.
When the selectors have picked the best available 13 guys to represent this country, and then the selectors within that room selects the final 11 out of that best 13, it has to do with the problem has to lie in that small room, that that backroom staff of Kelvin Williams, David Williams, Roland Sampath, and all those other people who are involved. That is where the problem lies, I believe. They're not getting through to these young men.
Yes, and this is overpitched, driven up the mid-off. It's gotten a bit overcast now. One hopes that the bad weather stays away. Good weather for farmers, but bad weather for cricket. And the score remains 42 without loss. And you know, stakeholders in your right field, you can't get upset with stakeholders. Without stakeholders, there are no cricket. Without fans, there are no cricket. And I remember recently I met one at down in San Fernando, South Trinidad, and he was telling me, you know, sometimes when people see you, they always want to discuss cricket. And sometimes all you need is a break, you know. And this guy, you know, he wanted to discuss West Indies cricket, and he was telling me that he's totally upset with the West Indies cricket selectors. I said, well, you're entitled to your opinion, as we have come to the end of another over, the score 42 without loss. And he was saying that he's very upset with the West Indies selectors because we're seeing so many problems, and they're not picking Malcolm Marshall.
Rest in peace.
Well, that one stumped me.
You said that this weather is good for farmers and not good for cricket, but it's also good for the bowlers, because with these overcast conditions that we're having here at Berlara Cricket Academy at Taruba, the ball should swing. And it's not hot, so the bowlers wouldn't get that tired. The spells could be a bit longer. And all these are factors that Captain Powell should be thinking about in his head. We haven't seen Alzari Joseph yet. Berringe is going to continue from that southern end to Kyle Hope.
We haven't seen Joseph, and we haven't seen the big man, Jimbo Cornwall. This is pushed away on the offside by Mr. Hope. The score is 42 without loss. I still say that the clouds are pretty high, and once the wind keeps in operation, it'll continue to go down to Labre, Palo and those areas. I remember, have you ever been to Palo Seco, Philo?
No, I've never been. I'm waiting on you to send me an invitation.
I should take you down there. As Berridge continues from the southern end, he comes in, bows to Hope. Flicked away to mid-wicket, there is no run. I remember on commentary in Guyana 2 years ago now, Reds Pereira asked me a question. West Indies were about to lose to Pakistan, and people were leaving the stadium. So he was telling me they were going to some far-off place in Guyana. He said it's like in Trinidad. From Palo Seco and Point Forte in these areas, if you come to see cricket and your team is losing, you tend to leave early to get home because it's a long run. So he asked me, what's the distance between Point Forte and he's out. Kyle Hope outside the off stump. He didn't get close to that one. He just flared at it. And a lovely catch there by Hodge. Munson Hodge continues his good form in the cricket now, not only with the bat, but on the field and on the stroke of half an hour here of this morning's play. A dejected Hope. He's hardly walking off the field. He pushed at that, took the outside edge. He's caught by Hodge of Shino Berridge. And as Philo Wallace has been saying all morning, Shino Berridge has been taking the ball away from the right hand.
Yes, when you look at it on the replay, the outswing of the ball is his left foot didn't get far enough out to that ball. The ball took a tick outside edge, and Monson Hodge going to his left and held on to a very good catch. It was traveling at knots as well. Kyle Hope obviously be disappointed. 2 games, he's had 2 failures, but again, not getting to the pitch of the ball, not allowing the back face to come through, either slightly bottom-handed as well. But a very good catch there in gully, a good field placing, you should say, from Captain Powell. So the Red Force have lost their first wicket at 42. That means that there are 300 runs still to get. But Solozano is there, so there's still some hope. He's been joined by Amir Django, who continues to show, I don't want to say potential, but who continues to show he has the ability, but not really delivering.
Why do you don't like that word potential?
Because yesterday I got somebody broke down the word potential for me, used by someone who is in senior position within cricket, and it made me laugh all the way home.
It made you cry.
Yeah, but I don't want to say it made me cry because
you laugh.
I never look at potential as that in a way.
I've never been able to get it out of my head since he told me that, and then he asked me. He just warned me, please don't put it on the newspaper. That is a part that is killing me.
Even hearing it today, you still have to laugh because there's something called reasonableness.
Yes.
I like this thought that man was unreasonable.
Oh my. Well, 42 for 1. Shino Berridge getting the wicket of Kyle Hope, caught by Munson Hodge, diving to his left. At slip of the, he got off the park for 17. The score 42 for 1. Remember, the target is 342. And Berridge is going to continue from the southern end. He's now going to bowl to the new batsman, and that's Amir Django. He comes in and bowls. That's a Yorker length delivery right up. Difficult delivery to get first up. Django equal to the task.
Yeah, well, obviously he's true to form, Shino Berringe. And during the first day of play, we were talking to Winston Benjamin. He said that Berringe is bowling good lines and good length, and he's obviously getting the ball to shape away. He didn't have a particularly good bowling innings in the first innings, but this second innings he really come running and he's bowling well. Captain Powell has entrusted him this morning, on this fourth morning, to share the honours with Jeremiah Louis, and that first ball that Django actually faced would have been an outswinger to a right-hander, which as a left-hander the ball tailed back into him, but well played in the end. Full back face presented.
This time this is another delivery that comes into Django. He clips it to square leg and there is no run.
So again, a hint of swing. Continued. That ball obviously short off a length, but came back in, and Django hit it quite nicely using the wrist, as these modern day batsmen do nowadays, to Akeem Saunders at forward square. But Django obviously needs to assess the situation here. I think he's perfectly positioned as a young enterprising batsman to just show a bit application and dedication, weather the storm a bit, and then obviously get into his stroke play. But it's not going to be easy.
Beaten outside the off stump. That one held its own. And Django, of course, would have expected that one to have come back into him. It beats the outside edge into the gloves of the wicketkeeper, Jamal Hamilton. It's the end of the over, Philo. 42 for 1 after more comments from Philo Wallace. We're going to have a change in the commentary team with Alan Gopal and Bridge Parsnat.
A very successful over there from Shino Berringe. He got the wicket of Kyle Hope, driving at the ball that left him and taking a tick outside edge, and a good catch in gully from Monson Hodge going to his left. He's a right-hander, so he went to his weaker side and came up with a very good catch. So you can see now that the Leeward Island Hurricanes, the fielders, they're buoyant after getting that first wicket. They're jumping around. The last delivery from that Berringe over just left Django a bit. He held his position quite nicely, Django, but Jamal Hamilton just hold the ball and was shaking it, just thinking it was going to take an edge. As I say good morning to Alan Gopal. He'll be joined by Brett Sparks now. Well, a nice tie.
Yes, good morning, Philo. Thank you very much. So, certainly a good start at the Leeward Hurricanes we're looking for. Good morning, Bridge Parsnat.
Good morning to you, Alan.
Nice overcast conditions here for bowling, and certainly Leeward's getting a breakthrough, early breakthrough, removing Kyle Hope. A wonderful catch by Monson Hodge, going to his left low, and that ball would have been traveling some knots as well. So Solozano is there.
What is a special good morning to all the viewers and listeners, especially on ABS in Antigua, to all you wonderful folks in Antigua and the Lesser Antilles, taking the broadcast live from the Brian Lara Cricket Academy with Jeremy Louis bowling to Jeremy Solozano. Louis gets there now, bowls to Solozano. That's kept low. For the first time we have seen one keeping low there, Alan.
Yes, no carry to the keeper Hamilton, and that one keeping a bit low, and certainly it's a 4-day pitch, and we expect some uncertainties. We saw some uncertainties yesterday, but we did see some consistent bongs from Louis. Actually, he bent his back quite nicely, and that one particularly keeping a bit low. Certainly Solozano will have to be looking at those deliveries.
Yes, Solozano is not out on 20. Got 18 in the first innings. He's got 100 so far in this match, in all total. But he needs to bat right through. The captain is expecting him to bat through the session. This is Louis Bowles, outside left the off stump, lifting delivery into the gloves of wicketkeeper Hamilton. 42 for the loss of 1. The dismissal of Kyle Hope. He pushed forward there and tried to play that ball square in the offside, but not close to it as Philo described it. And you can see that guilty of playing a false stroke and paid the price, and the Trinidad and Tobago's lost the early wicket, a partnership of 42. 300 required, but 300 runs is a lot of runs to get. By the way that these guys start this morning, I feel that they're in the positive mood, and that's a good sign.
It's a good sign. They've looked positive, but certainly the only setback would have been the loss of Kyle Hope early on.
Louis Bowles now to Solozano, shot outside left the off stump.
And he was looking quite good. He smacked a lovely boundary through the offside early on. And that one, he just plunged on the front foot there and just pushed the bat out. and certainly that would have been a setback because they were basically getting themselves in, and unfortunately for him, but Solozano is still there. He's on 20, as you said, 80 in the first inning, so he has now made 100 in this game.
It is a slip, fairly wide, almost second slip. Raheem Cornwall, this is Louis, bowls to Solozano, drives it straight to cover. Can't get a single, too firmly pushed down to the fielder there. And that's the end of the over. Is it? No. I see all the fielders moving around. Thought that was the end of the over. It's 42 for the loss of one. Django is yet to open his account. This is the 8th over being bowled by Jeremy. We look at the overall picture that the Leeward Islands Hurricanes, they made 425 in the first innings. Trinidad and Tobago, they were dismissed with 254. In the second innings, the Hurricanes made 168 for 6 declared, setting Trinidad and Tobago a victory target of 342. This one on the pads. This I'm sure came off the pads as we a leg by. Batsman crossed for a single. We have to wait a signal from umpire Patrick Gustard. He does that now. So one more to the total takes the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force on to 43 for the loss of one. And that's the end of the over now.
Yes, that's the end of the over from Louis. And certainly good partnership will have to be built among Solozano and Django at this time. Louis seemed to have had Solozano a bit in his comfort zone because he was not able to rotate the strike as much with Hope. He has departed. Django is there now, but he has gotten the leg by and he'll be taking up strike from the wicket taker early on, Berridge.
Yeah, Berridge got a breakthrough in the first innings. He didn't do much damage to the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force. He got one wicket. Got a wicket of Imran Khan. Caught Saunders at 12. That's laid down in the order, the 9th wicket. But he's picked up the first wicket here today, so he'll be very happy. As a bowler, one of the frontline batsmen. In your credit column, this is Berridge bowls to Solozano, plays it square on the outside. You always feel happy when you take the top order, especially the established guys in the opposition team. You want to get those wickets in the credit column. And I'm sure he'll be striving for one of those few wickets here this morning.
Yes, certainly getting early wickets. And with the introduction of Cornwall later on, certainly he will bring a handful to the Trinidad and Tobago batsmen. We saw him in the first innings, most successful bowler for the Hurricanes, and the opening pair doing what is required basically. They're keeping them calm. They got the breakthrough. Got delivery worked away on the leg side from Solozano. That's a single.
Yeah, the ball lined just on about the leg stump. Solozano getting inside of that line and playing it very comfortably to the man at the long leg position. Jeremy Louis scampered very quickly across the pitch, preventing the second run. And the ball was thrown beyond the wicketkeeper, but the batsmen are not interested in a second run. So the score advances to what, 44? I think it'll be 44 for 1. This is Berridge bowls to Django, and he seems to be in a bit of indecision playing that ball. He was pushing forward, and then he just checked that shot, the ball coming off the bottom half of the bat and trickling down to the gully position.
Keeping a bit low as well, and bat a little far from his body. So you need to look at that. You need to get closer in line with those deliveries from Berridge. As he taps away. Cool conditions here at the Brown Cricket Academy. He pushes that one to the man at short mid-off, and he's off. So he has now made himself into the account.
A good shot play there by Django. He strokes his ball to the right of the field. I recognize that Powell had to move to his right, maybe about 5-10 meters. Did well call for this single. Solozano responds very quickly, and we've seen the good running between these two in the first innings when they batted, when Trinidad and Tobago made 252 both Django and Solozano. They added 65 runs for that second wicket partnership, so there's good understanding between these two.
Good delivery outside the off stump by Barrage once again. Solozano equal to the task, looking at it carefully, not pushing at it, but not making the bounce he would have expected as well. But that one leaving him a good take by wicketkeeper Hamilton. So certainly that partnership that they would have gotten in that first inning, they would want to resurface that here, honestly, to build up not just 65 but at least 100 plus partnership to give the middle order, that confidence if they may get into them.
There's another good lifting delivery, and you can see that Solozano already reading it, pushing it in front of him with soft hands. Solozano got 80 runs, 16 boundaries. That was an attacking stroke play by Solozano in the very first over against Alzari Joseph. He got 2 boundaries. I think that took the sting out of the West Indian fast bowler. I'm surprised he was not given the ball this morning here, because yesterday when he second new ball, he was very effective, and he got those wickets yesterday to restrict Trinidad to only 252 in their first innings. And I'm surprised also that Rakeem Cornwall not given the ball from the southern end because he created problems.
But I thought late yesterday they removed Cornwall and they introduced Terrence Ward on the attack, and he got 2 overs from the southern end. But I thought Cornwall should have remained on that ball because he was putting pressure on the openers, and I think that there was a ease of pressure on both Hope and Solozano late into the evening. But as we see a bowling change here from the northern end, Alzari Joseph, he'll be taking over from Louis. And he'll be bowling to Amir Django.
Alzari Joseph, in the first innings, he was very effective when he came back in his second new ball. Got 3 for 80. This one down the leg side. Not your first ball. You really want to line it up. You want the batsman to play the ball. And this one striving maybe just for a little bit extra pace, not getting it right.
Yes, that one is moving down to the leg side of Django. And you want to be spot on, because we did see early on Jeremiah Louis. We have bowled really good this morning. We just saw one good cover drive from young Solozano. That one was pitched a bit too full, but he did capitalize. So Joseph runs away from the media center end. Nice pitch delivery, spot on this occasion, Bridge.
Yes, that's what you want to do. Your first ball, every ball you want to put it on his spot. And force the batsman to play. He's just come in. He hasn't got much runs, so you want to put him under pressure. The less he plays the ball, he gets confidence. The longer you stay out there and you watch the ball, you see the pitch, the nature, how it is playing, how the ball is coming off the track, you feel comfortable, and then you change your mindset, and then you get into the attacking mode.
Good delivery, making the batsman play, and that's just where you would want him to do. Bring the batsman forward, encourage him to play. There's just one slip. There's a gap between the widest first slip, I would say, not quite a second slip, but there's a gap between him and the fielder at
Gully
position. So you'd want to bring him on that front foot, but I would employ a second slip at this time, to give him a little bit more pressure.
I put somebody close in under the bat on the onside, and some short lifting deliveries, because he was very uncomfortable with those lifting deliveries. You see, once the ball is pitched up, you will play straight, but once it's lifting, the guy is not getting in position to control that stroke. So if you put somebody close in under the bat, forward square, yes. And you see Alzari has the ability to get that ball to really take off.
Yes, certainly. You're looking for wickets early on if you need to win this game, and you need to attack. There's quite a lot of runs for Red Force to get on a last day pitch, obviously, here at Brown Cricket Academy. You're not getting the ball to actually come onto the bat as you would expect for the openers, to enjoy. But no one under the bat or second slip or full pitch delivery. They are not being dispatched by Django. That should have been a ball. Actually, the fieldsman should be picking up that ball from the boundary line.
See, like the mid-off, for example, and the short extra cover and a cover position, a man at backward point. One of those fielders, I would say probably the man at the extra cover position,
yes,
to be brought in and put in under at forward square. And short, bowl it short. You have to get mid wicket. So if he tries to pull and mistimes it, there's a chance for the ball to balloon. But he wouldn't do that if you have it there. So you have to play in front of him.
Yeah, I would have moved the short cover as well and get him under the bat.
Lovely shot there by Django. Plays this along the ground, and I think he will take it in singles. Gradually, he's going to build the momentum, and the longer he stays out in the middle, he's an attractive stroke player. I've seen him bat before. I know he can get a job done, but the question is how much of patience they will have today, because you're chasing a target. When you're batting and you're not chasing a target, there's no pressure. But there's pressure on as well. You have to occupy the crease to see how these bowlers bat through the session, but also to score runs at the same time.
Well, the first thing you need to understand is that they don't want to lose this game. You'd want to at least come out with some points out of it. They have already given away the first innings, and that would obviously set them back in this tournament. But when you look at their approach this morning, it's really about rotating the strike and occupying the crease. And if they don't get the 342 required, obviously you would want to bat out today's play. Because if you don't, obviously it means it's either you get the runs early, which I don't think they could get early, but you would have put yourself in a position where you would have been bowled out. So you need to occupy, rotate the strike, pick up the singles, and sooner you'll see the skipper opening up the field a bit, giving you more opportunities of bigger gaps.
So Berridge bowls the next delivery to Django. Strokes is to cover, no run. 20 runs added so far to the overnight total of 26 without loss. 10 overs bowled yesterday, with Hope was not out on 6, Solozano not out on 16. Hope has been dismissed so far for 20. He added 14 to his overnight total, and he faced 33 deliveries today. Overall 57. This is Django getting one shot outside the off stump and playing away from the body, but a slow delivery outside the off stump, and really not in control of that stroke properly.
Yes, a good delivery again by Shino Berridge. But Django will need to occupy the crease. There's no need to force anything. There's a lot of overs. You have to put yourself in a position not only looking to win the game, but obviously not to lose the game as well. So you need to stay there, stick it out. It's early days in this game, in this innings this morning, and the fourth day. Good delivery that was work onto the legs. So the man at square. Backward of square. No runs. So
Django on 2, Solozano 21. The partnership is only 4. He just more or less started 2 overs ago. So the first wicket of 42. So there's a much improvement from the first innings. There was only 11 for the partnership. Hope made only 3. Far too wide, wayward delivery, and a wasted delivery as well. Okay, you want to force the batsman to play.
Yes, you want him to come on his front foot and play at those deliveries. That one leaving him a bit, but a bit too wide, obviously. And that's a freebie for the batsman to just look at it as it goes by. Get the ball a bit older as well.
.46 for the loss of 1. The dark clouds are very far away, Alan. You live in the vicinity and you probably know better than all of us.
Yes, certainly. Local conditions here, you look at more onto the northeastern end of the ground, and it seems to be clearing a bit. The southeastern side seems to be a little bit overcast, but it's moving quickly across.
Push it away towards the Atlantic?
Yes, it's been pulled across. We're not too far from the ocean here, I will tell you.
Right.
We're probably just about 2 to 3 miles away on a straight line. So certainly, looking at the northeastern end, it's very clear this time, and the breeze is picking up. So I think we're going to have a good day's cricket, no interruptions. But it's up to Chitran to make a Red Force, obviously, to ensure that they have no further interruptions in terms of their wickets.
Good line delivery, just on about the off stump. Django going under the front foot, strokes is to cover, not looking for a single, which is back into his crease. 296 required for victory. And in terms of Leewards Island Hurricane, they required 9 wickets to wrap it up and to go back with what they will consider a very important victory for them, because coming to Trinidad and Tobago last year, they won by 1 wicket at the Queen's Park Oval. So played Trinidad and Tobago in Trinidad. That was a big boost for them, winning by 1 wicket at the Queen's Park Oval. A very tense game. And they were happy to have gone with that victory. And they ended up higher than Trinidad and Tobago at the end of the series as well.
Well, I think everybody ended up higher than Trinidad and Tobago last year. But certainly not a good record here at this venue. They have not won any of their games. And they were looking to dig deep, at least to come out with a draw. As you see, Alzari Joseph, he continues here from the media center end, the Gasparilla end. Tall young man. Recently coming out of injury in 2018. Has some issues. Short delivery being pulled by Solozano, and that not making the height. It's not lifting onto him. And he premeditated the shot because he's looking at the wide area on the onside. And unfortunately for Alzari Joseph, that one could have struck him directly in front, and that could have been the end of Solozano.
Yes, delivery that forced him to play on the back foot, but it kept low and he just misjudged it completely. The ball just dipped on him, so to speak. 46 for the loss of 1. Solozano not out on 21. Django is on 2. The batsman dismissed. Kyle Hope caught Hodge as Munson Hodge of the bowling of Chino Berridge.
That's one cut away by Solozano for 4. Lovely shot, getting over that ball. It was not too far from the man at gully, but he was fully in control of that shot. And welcoming Bongwe once again for him. That brings up the 50 for the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force. 50 for 1. Solozano moves on to 25.
Lovely shot there by young Solozano. You could see that he's waiting for that moment of time to play the big shots. And on this occasion, he was in total control, as you mentioned there, Alan. And this is a situation he's showing that confidence from the very first innings, especially against Alzari Joseph. And he's the guy with the repetition. He's the guy who's playing at the highest level. So if you could prove yourself against the guy who's playing at the highest level, it means you enhance your chances of being noticed and being selected.
Inside edge there was worked onto the backward of square. Picks up 2 easy runs. Well, I think one of the issues Solozano would have had, a little difficulty, some of the cut shots in his first innings, he would get inside edge and a lot of French cuts actually. But in that occasion, he got totally over that ball and worked the wrist. And he knew exactly where he wanted to place that ball, and obviously taking the rewards of 4 runs.
27 to Solozano, 52 for the loss of 1. Trinidad and Tobago Red Force, they required 292. Alzari Joseph looking for Hurricane's second wicket, goes in, bowls now to Solozano, wide outside the line of the off stump. A wasted delivery. Solozano would not be tempted. You could see that discipline in his approach to the game here this morning. Totally different from the first innings. The first innings is much more attacking, and we saw it yesterday afternoon and again this morning. So he's showing the right temperament, not trying to be induced into a false stroke.
Yes, good temperament, good conditions of batting. He has to stay out there and enjoy his batting. He's the informed man of the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force, and he would want to stay as long as possible in the middle. And he's showing good capabilities here. As we see, Joseph runs away, passes umpire Patrick goes at a good ball, full of delivery, and just coming to his front foot and just pushing that one to the man at the cover. But I've been very impressed with Jeremy Solozano.
Yes, he looks disciplined. He looks well organized. Like his stroke selection, and that's important. He's not forcing the issue, not trying to take too many liberty, and that's what you want. When you're for an opening batsman, you need to stay there. You have to be rock solid in terms of temperament, your stroke selection, your movement at the crease, and the way you judge the deliveries. If it's short, you move on to the back foot. It's full, you get on the front foot. It's a front foot, back foot game. Right, this is what cricket is all about, and he's doing an excellent job so far. Good delivery, watches it fall onto the face of the bat, and you can see the front foot not fully forward, but just enough in distance because he recognized that he could get there, and with the full face of the bat, plays it gently in the offside, not looking for a forceful stroke. 52 for the loss of 1. That's the end of Alzari Joseph over. 4 overs, 2 maiden, 7 runs. He has not conceded to me apart from the 1 boundary. So he's been steady and just a little more variation coming into his bowling.
Yes, Solozano on that occasion showing a good full face to him. Good defense. So you're moving along nicely. 52 for 1. Required a further 290. And obviously by no means is an easy task.
No, it's never.
But certainly
It's a Herculean task, so to speak.
As I said earlier on this morning, when I came here at the stadium, they would need to stick it out. They would need to bat as long as possible. And if they pursue with a good plan, I think they would be able to get as close as possible to the score. Good delivery.
Lovely shot there by Solozano. That's a Django. Plays this beautifully along the ground. The timing and the placement is beautiful. And this is what he said, that he's a classy stroke player, and when he's in the mood and he can get those shots off the way he did this one, he will be able to a little bit more power and more timing. Right? He'll be able to get plenty of runs. He goes on the 4 with that double, and his score advances to 54 for 1.
Yes, Berridge pushing that one a bit fuller to him, and he just worked it on the arm side for 2. So he's actually starting to score. You need to get a big score here for his side.
Berridge bowls to Django, watches it onto the bat, pushes it back on the outside, no run. 54 for the loss of 1. And Alan, when we look at what's happening in Kensington Oval overnight, Barbados made 317 in reply to Guyana's. What I'm saying, I'm giving you the wrong score there. Guyana made 548, and Barbados made 360 all out. So this will be a one-innings decision today. 2 innings will not be completed. Something dramatic happens there, so Guyana will take 4 innings honors at Kensington Oval.
Very interesting scores as well. Lovely shot by Amir Django. He drive that one past the man at square, and that would run all the way on the carpet for 4. So wonderful shot by Amir.
That's what I'm saying. This guy is a classy stroke player. Once he gets into the mood, and you can see the previous one, he pushed it a little bit more power, timing it better, and the execution was perfect. Once it left the bat, there's nobody could stop it there because it's vacant down on the backward point boundary. So 4 runs to him, he advances his personal tally onto 8. And his score, 58 for 1.
What I liked about that shot, he got quickly into picking up the line, the length earlier, got into his front foot, and knew exactly where he wanted to put that ball.
Lovely shot. Beautiful to watch. This is Berridge bowls to him, and he pulls it into the hands of the fielder. He's gone. Straight into the... And that one was not there for the pull shot, and he went, executed a wrong bad shot there, and straight into the hands of Devon Thomas at short mid-wicket. Thomas, as we know, is a brilliant stumper and wicketkeeper. Dive in front of him, held on to the catch, and Amir Django walks away dejectedly, but he has put his team under tremendous pressure with that bad shot. 58 for the loss of 2. He already had a double, a fantastic 4. Right, and pulling that shot. This is no way it was short for that pull stroke, and I mean it's unbelievable. At batting at number 3,
I think he
to play a stroke like
premeditated that shot early on, and the ball in nowhere close to him to really pull that ball, and it didn't make any height as well. And in the safe hands of Devon Thomas, he looked very dejected here, and as he make his way back to the dugout. Poor piece of cricket. You would have gotten a lovely shot before. We spoke highly about him. You know, he got into that previous delivery and whacked it for 4. And undoubtedly, you know, playing a shot that was certainly not called for at this stage.
Totally uncalled for. That's a reckless shot played, especially the situation of the game. You already lost the experience, Kyle Hope. We saw what happened in the first innings. This is the target is 284 to come.
And when you look at the replay, he's looking at the bat.
The bat is not the fault.
I'm trying to figure out if the bat made the shot or the man who held the bat created that demise of his wicket. Because he's looking at the bottom of the bat, and unfortunate to him, it was a shot poorly selected, and obviously Leeward Islands, they are looking at getting wickets. They are taking their catches early on this morning. A wonderful catch by Hodge early on to dismiss Hope, and a wonderful catch from Devon Thomas once again at short mid-wicket. Trinidad and Tobago seem to be in a bit of serious bother here.
And Alan, I made this point in Barbados, I make this point in Guyana, I make it in Trinidad, and I'm going to do it again. I still feel that when they come in the morning session for warm-up and practice, all this football that they're playing, this is a cricket game. You will never see a football team practicing cricket. right? And I'm saying that because in the days, when I go back to my younger days, when I go to watch cricket, I used to bowl to Rohan Kanai and Gary Sobers and these guys at the Oval, at Border and Clive Lloyd. I'd be there at 7 o'clock in the morning. Rohan Kanai comes at 7 o'clock. He gets 1 hour session before the other players. And when they come, he also is there to practice with them, right? So we go very early, and we get a chance to bowl to them, right? And they get that extra. And those sessions are very important. Rohan Khanna used to say that those sessions are where he would come sometimes at 6:30. The earlier that we can get there, the better for him to get practice.
Well, while you may have a point, Bridge, I tell you that that shot had nothing to do with football. It's really a poor cricketing shot, and his concentration there would have been out of sorts. A ball wide of him outside the off stump. And from on the 13 cricket, they would have advised you and teach you the and certainly is bad concentration. It seems to be more of a psychological issue in terms of understanding what's required.
What I'm saying, the Leeward Islands team, they were practicing the catching, short catching, close in, 4 things. So one guy's had a group of 4, a group of 6, and that's how the drills were. So that's why the catching is so sharp. The manager, William Cornwall, yesterday was doing the same thing at the end of the session. Had these guys working and they catching. We saw that right in front of us here. So all those drills have you mentally prepared and physically, mentally, and emotionally.
Certainly, Rich.
And that's the key to success. Preparation is the key to success.
Let me make my way for our producer, Vinud Mamchan, who will be taking over along with Philo Wallace.
58 for the loss of 2. Shino Berridge will bowl to the new batsman, Jason Mohammed. Yes, so we ought to say a special good morning to our producer, Vinud Mamchan.
Good morning, Bridge. Brilliant delivery there by Berridge. He continues to bowl excellently. That one moving away from Jason Mohammed. And Jason not in good enough form to edge that one. As I welcome Philo Wallace. We've seen some elementary errors being committed here by the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force team.
Yes, Vinud Mamchan. We saw Kyle Hope playing away from his body. Get outside ledge, a good catch by Monster Hodge and Gully. Then just before the water break, Amir Django played an exquisite drive through the offside and then got a left delivery and pulled it to the left of Devon Thomas at mid-wicket and was out caught.
A wicket fell at 10:30 and a wicket at 11. So
every half an hour.
Well, if it goes like that, Trinidad and Tobago will definitely draw the match. Hour after T, says Alan, so my math is not very good. 58 for 2. Solozano is still there on 27, and this is when you need your test, well, not your test, but your West Indies player, Jason Mohammed, to show his colors. He has been off color for this PCL so far, this West Indies 4-day championship. He needs to show up now.
Well, he's here, and he was here for the first game. I didn't like his body language in the first game. He's wearing white clothes. There's no color clothing for the Ghana Amazon Warriors or Windies. He needs to obviously show up. He's being heavy. He looks lethargic with his bat speed. There's no energy coming out of Jason Mohammed, which is quite strange.
It's strange because Jason Mohammed has always been, very keen, very energetic in his play.
Maybe he needs some Bobande.
I'll speak to his father, who's a good friend of mine. I'll speak to him, Philo. That's a quick one. 4th-day pitch.
I like that. I like the aggression from Alzari Joseph. A good bouncer.
I think the groundsman likes that as well.
Hamilton took it above his head, and umpire Patrick Goose are loving it, signaling one for the over. We haven't seen that signal for a long time, actually.
No, definitely.
It's good torque. And he's smiling.
Wonderful.
I told him yesterday, don't do anything angry. If you're driving, don't drive angry. If you're talking to people, don't talk angry. And even if you're talking to your girlfriend or wife or mother, don't talk to them angry. Definitely. Do everything with a smile.
What was his response?
But the coach told me that they've been telling him that for the last 2 years.
Beaten outside the off-stump, a brilliant delivery by young Joseph. He seems to be one of those players who takes things on. You can see him emotionally. He gets very emotional. I've seen it here on many occasions.
Yeah, well, he wants to do well. And he believes that he's to take a wicket every ball. But sometimes you just need to sit back and watch batsmen and work them out. It's not about pace. It's about intelligence. And I think as he continues to mature and play cricket, he'll realize that sometimes you just have to sit back as a bowler. You look at Rabada, who's come on leaps and bounds, and that is the way he does it. He sits back and then he explodes.
Good delivery again. Good pace here by Alzari Joseph. This is refreshing to see.
Yeah, well,
if you're a supporter of West Indies cricket.
Yeah, well, obviously he was back after injury there for the regional Super 50 under Stuart Williams and Tony Gray's guidance. And Tony Gray thinks highly of him and believes that he is back to his peak. Maybe saw a continuation of that in the first game of this Cricket West Indies Championship 2018-2019. And he's continued to improve. And I believe that Winston Benjamin is the right coach for him, who will get the best out of him. And we're seeing good attributes this far.
Comes in again, and that's a naughty shot there by Solozano, as Philo likes to say. A naughty shot. That was wide. There was no need to play at that. He misses and it goes through to the wicketkeeper. This partnership here is very crucial for Trinidad and Tobago, as well all the partnerships going on today as we move further into the day's play. Still 284 runs needed for victory, 8 wickets in hand. Solozano is on 27. He has faced 77 deliveries. And Jason Mohammed, who has faced just 2, he is yet to get off the mark, looking to keep that pace up. Alzari Joseph had 3 wickets in the first innings. He has bowled well in this match so far. This delivery pulls it down a bit. It's on the legs of Solozano. There was a woody song to that, so I don't think it will be a leg by. Let's wait on the umpire. In fact, he did get an inside edge onto that. So one more to Solozano. He goes on to 28. The score 59 for 2.
Yes, I was just reading something there that you showed me, and I agree totally. As a former selector in Barbados, we had to attend matches, and I think that it's important that the Trinidad and Tobago Cricket Board get the selectors the things to do list, to move this cricket forward. When you look at it, I'm a very strong believer that this 2-day cricket that they've played for the last year or so has not benefited Trinidad and Tobago at all. Because you cannot play 2-day cricket as a top flight cricket. Yes, I know there were financial constraints, but you cannot play 2-day cricket and develop 4-day cricketers. The math just doesn't add up. It's going to call for a lot of work and application to get these guys up to 4-day level.
This is played away by Mohammed. Back and across.
This is going to be an important innings for Jason Mohammed. He's had 3 innings. He's made no impact at all, not even on the field as a fielder. Less impact with a bat. So this is going to call for him now. It's about another 55 minutes to lunch. He needs to bat in 5-minute sessions to get up to lunch without losing his wicket, particularly Jason Mohammed. As Jeremy Solozano, he's been there from the beginning. He's on 28 from 78 balls, so he's obviously decided he's going to bat long and deep into the second innings. If Trinidad and Tobago is right for supposed to save this game or even go on to win, Solozano has to try and bat deep into that last session or whenever. So Jason Mohammed has to come good here. He has to dig deep on his resources. He has to remember how to score runs and what is required to score runs. Scoring runs is soaking up deliveries, weathering the good balls and punishing the bad balls. We're seeing Cornwall warming up at first slip. So, when he comes, he's going to be bowling for a very long time. So, Jason Mohammed, this is going to be very important to him, how well this partnership can grow.
I think when Cornwall bowls, that'll be it for the rest of the day. He will tie up an end. And at the moment, we are seeing 59 for 2.
It's not going to be a small tie as well from Cornwall. It's going to be a big tie.
Big tie.
Yeah. Yes. And I'm not talking about chicken tie or frog tie.
Very solid man.
Yeah, I like him. I like his attitude. He's a good guy. He's a cricketer. And I want the people of the region to recognize that Rakeem Cornwall is a cricketer. He is performing. The selectors have asked for performers, and Rakeem Cornwall can certainly stand up and say, look, I am a consistent performer at the 4-day level.
Well, the requirements is that you perform. Oh, lovely shot by Solozano, just easing into this one on the offside, using the pace of Berridge, and a misfield at point, gets him a single. So he goes on by 1 to 29. The score is now 60 for 2. And the selectors never said they needed men below a certain weight. They said they wanted performance, and he has given them that.
Yeah, I'm not even thinking about his weight. I'm just looking at his performances as a cricketer. But what I like about Solozano there in that shot, if you notice, that he didn't hit the ball. He just placed the ball, good timing. Casey Carty dived to his left and parried the ball to extra cover, and Monster Hodge was there. But the style in which he played the shot The position he got in to play the shot as well by Jeremy Solozano was commendable. Mind you, this is their 4 pitch. And we haven't seen too many balls squatting actually. The seamers have been getting good carry.
This pitches stand up nicely here today. Bit short, Mohammed. Let's plays it to mid wicket. Jason Mohammed, very hard worker. When things are not going his way, he loves to bat in front of a long mirror.
But he's a short man.
Yep.
So if he bats in front of a long mirror, it's a long
Call it
road.
shadow batting. And his nickname, of course, is Shadow. But I don't think it's because of his shadow batting that he got that nickname Shadow. A very nice guy indeed. Bears both him. He's right forward. And Mohammed wants to show his class here today for Trinidad and Tobago. 60 for 2.
But it's the right environment, actually, if you do for a player of Jason Mohammed's class to really stand up and hold his stand up today and say, look, I am going to take the bull by the horn and help Trinidad and Tobago Red Force either to win this game or to draw it. If they lose this game, the Red Force is going to push them further back in confidence heading out to Jamaica during the week.
Yes, if you lose your 2 games at home, makes it even worse. Outside the off-stump, Mohammed uses all of his experience, allows that one to go by. There is no run. Good player, Jason Mohammed. One thing about Jason Mohammed I can say, Philo, he is a crisis player. I've seen him pull Trinidad and Tobago out of the fire on many occasions. I remember one of the regional Super 50 finals at the Queen's Park Oval when getting a run was the most impossible thing. He scored 100 and Trinidad and Tobago won a low-scoring affair.
But he has to draw on that today to bring Red Force home.
And 2 Super 50 man of the tournaments. Our growing statistician Dinesh Mahabir is giving me that information. So if you have Dinesh and you have Bridge, you're well covered.
Yeah, but obviously he's been giving Bridge a lot of drop homes in the evenings, and Bridge has been teaching him. So Bridge obviously is a good tutor, and
Bridge is also offering him tea.
My golly, what more? What, you want biscuits?
Without milk, though.
No, he's not a milkman.
No. I think Prakash has not brought milk for the last 2 days because of Karit's presence in the press box. He said Karit likes too much milk.
Oh.
Of course, he would have replaced Karit in the attack.
I thought Karit was a fish.
Well, you saw Karit yesterday. He said he was a deadly fast bowler in his day.
He was a good man. He was a short fast bowler.
Yes. This delivery keeps low. Alzari Joseph, had that one been on the stumps, it could have been very interesting indeed. Yes, I remember Karit a couple of years ago, and he was even smaller, telling me that when he started his career out in Rosilac, South Trinidad, Southwest Trinidad, not too far from where Dinesh Mahabir lives, the very affluent La Romaine on the sea, not very far from there. But he said that the villagers thought here was the next Malcolm Marshall.
Karit?
Here is Alzari Joseph Bowes. That's a good delivery. That one nearly sneaked through. Philo struck the bottom of the bat. Goes back to him.
I would like to. I know that Danish might not have this information, but when last have Jerry Solozano batted at the northern end? He's been on that southern end for about 10 o'clock.
That's interesting indeed. I don't know how we can get that information. Dino might be able to pull that up. You don't doubt Dino.
He has not moved from that southern end, you know. If he faced 10 balls from the northern end this morning, he faced a lot. All of his deliveries were from that southern end. Most of them, I should say.
Again, that delivery keeps low, but he looked as if he was pulling out of the shot. I can't understand it.
He has a short ball from Alzari Joseph. The ball then bounced off as high as Jeremy Solozano was anticipating. And the strange thing is that he looked to pull himself and the bat away from playing the ball. So he needs to be careful, Jeremy Solozano. He needs to look at the ball a lot longer. Obviously, there is an area on the spot where the ball not bouncing as high as expected. Not squatting, but not bouncing as high. And he still needs to show that commitment. So Joseph runs away from us on another end pass, goes to bowl to Solozano. Short ball this time, as Solozano stands up quite nicely, getting in line on this occasion and pushing into the offside. Thomas is there. A better looking defensive shot to a short ball that bunks just above the waistline from Alzari Joseph. But this has been a good spell from this young fast bowler. He's into his 6th over. He's only gone for 8 runs.
Yes, excellent. He has really impressed this morning. And you know, just as we were praising the pitch, we saw 2 deliveries from this over that basically crept along the ground.
I would say it didn't bounce as high as expected by the batsman.
Yes, and Solozano on the second occasion looked as if he was pulling out of the shot, like as if he had given up. Yeah, yes, and he struck on the pad outside the leg stump. No appeal from the bowler.
Well, pitched clearly outside the leg stump. A big appeal, but in vain. But again, I think what the discomfort is for Solozano is that Alzari Joseph is hitting the ball into the pitch. Now, this is day 4, and you wouldn't expect the ball to really bounce, at that alarming height to your head. So a couple of balls have not bounced as high as he expected. So he's staying on the back foot. But he still needs to commit himself to come forward. Does he have a forearm guard on? I don't even think he has a forearm guard on. He's not a big man, Solozano. So obviously, and Alzari Joseph, in this spell, has him uncomfortable. He needs to find a way to get away from that end.
This is where Mohammed comes in. Outside the off stump, he just plays it again, playing away from his body. And Jason Mohammed needs to speak to him, and Jason probably needs to find himself down at the other end, probably for an over to take Alzari Joseph and just ease him off the pressure a bit. 60 for 2.
Because and that's why I asked the question, when last has Jeremy Solozano batted at the northern end? He's been facing a lot of deliveries batting from that southern end. So obviously, it's a bit uncomfortable facing Alzari Joseph, particularly in that last over. But you have to commend Alzari Joseph for just continuing to run at him and hit the ball into the pitch. And obviously, having Jeremy Solozano playing very awkwardly at some of the deliveries. We're going to see from the southern end of the bowling teams, the first bowling teams from that end. It's going to be Rakeem Cornwall, and I want Dino to put a timer when he starts, 20 past 11. And we put another mark when he stops. So this is going to be a big factor here for Trinidad and Tobago Red Force with Cornwall coming into the attack.
So yes, definitely, he's taking up residence at the southern end, and we see how he goes. Jason Mohammed, who is very adept at playing slow bowling. We'll see how he goes. Outside the off stump, he drives nicely, Mohammed. This is going to beat the fielder and go into the boundary for 4. What a lovely shot. Over pitch delivery, a loose snap by the big man. Mohammed planting that left foot right down the track and just following through with some wonderful shot there by Mohammed.
That's a beautiful extra cover drive. He just got to the pitch of the ball with his left foot and just allow his arms and that bat to come straight through the line of the ball. Louis dived to his left using his right hand, which would have shortened the distance. And the ball eluded that right hander down to the boundary. But it's a good start for Jason Mohammed. Let's see how he continues.
Outside the off stump, he drives again, but this time he finds Hodge. And Hodge ropes it in. Just feet either side of Hodge, and that would have been another boundary. Mohammed is back, uses his crease, uses the depth of his crease and gets it down to square leg. There is no run.
Well, the thing about Cornwall is that he adjusts his line and left so quickly. It's unbelievable.
Comes in again to Mohammed down the leg side.
As that ball actually turn and bounce. And he's a tall man.
Well, the master players of slow bowling back in the day would have looked to have attacked him after what he did in the first innings to put him off.
You see, I think what the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force is done to Cornwall. Okay, he bowled 2 half volleys and he was punished on the first. The second went straight. Then he bowled an innocuous delivery down the leg side. Instead of Jason Mohammed looking to hit it, he just allowed it to spin past him. He needs to just show a bit more aggression to this guy, Cornwall. It's a good delivery, and he plays it in front of him. But they're allowing Cornwall to just bowl.
Yes, he should have gotten back. And that was my thought. Rather than leaving that delivery, that was a free hit. He should have gotten back and looked to pull that.
Yeah, as a former batsman, man, Jam, the key for a batsman is look to score. I think what Trinidad and Tobago Red Force batsmen are doing against Raheem Cornwall, not taking anything away from him, is that they're just looking to bat him, keep him out. But you can't just keep out a bowler. Jan Goose tried it in the first innings and he got bowled neck and crop. But the key to batting Cornwall is scoring, pushing the ball in the gaps, ones and twos, and trying to get him to obviously do something different. But they're just allowing him to bowl, which makes it easier for Cornwall himself. So it's going to be Alzari Joseph who's going to continue from the northern. And now we're seeing Captain Powell asking Akeem Saunders to put on the helmet and come to back pad. He's going to, just backwards square. He's very square on the crease. He's on the pitch. Powell is pushing him in, telling him to come into silly mid-on. So he wants him to come in front of Jeremy Solozano on the leg side so he can see him, Solozano.
I think he wants him at a 4 short leg.
And obviously create that obstacle of stopping him from coming forward. He defends on the offside, but again Solozano is not looking to score. He's just bent on defending those balls. Just drop his hand on the ball and allow the ball to run off and push Jason Mohammed to get down there and take that. Because Alzari Joseph looks very comfortable bowling to the left-handed Solozano.
And he needs to get away from that end.
When in Barbados we call it juke and run. I don't know what you call it here.
Same thing.
Get away, Solozano. You're facing too many deliveries from one bowler. He's setting you up.
It's back, plays it down to point.
But you have to commend Alzari Joseph here. I like the way how he's running in. Vino, this is a day 4 pitch. And he's still getting the ball to bounce chest side to the batsman. So he's hitting the seam.
Tells me he's back to full fitness. If you can wake this pitch up on a day 4, you have to be fit, Philo.
Yes, you have to be enjoying it. He's in good rhythm as well.
Yes. He's in his 7th over, none for 8.
Yes, his stride pattern is very consistent. His bowling action is actually consistent, and he's completing his action. Slow delivery, well played. Beautiful shot. A beautiful shot. Just waited on that delivery and just pushed it, opening the back face on contact and past the right hand of Devon Thomas, who just jogs after it and into the boundary for 4. That is better from Jeremy Solozano, using his wrist to just open that back face slightly to beat the fielder.
68 for 2, he goes on to 33. And one thing about Solozano's batting, I didn't hear any of the commentators speak about it just yet. Philo, what are your thoughts on it? Looking at him in the first innings and even in the second innings, his placement is impeccable.
Yeah, he's very compact. And to get placement as a batsman, you must have that compaction. I'm not speaking about hard. Compact means your stature at the crease. So because he played that push drive, he was compact in his stance. Everything was solid. So he just maneuvered the ball with his arm. So it's good batting. He's in good balance as well. You can see it again from that backward defensive shot. He's covering the off stump, and the bat is just coming straight through the line of the ball. And a lot of balls, Vinod, they sit in the face of the bat.
Yes.
And in order for the ball to hit the face of the bat, Vinod, the bat handle must be going towards the ball. Because the bat handle is in the center of the bat. You will never see a bat handle on the outside edge or inside edge. If a bat handle is on the outside edge or inside edge, that means it's broken. So the bat handle goes towards the
analysis.
ball. You will hit the ball with the face of the bat. As your friend Ronnie Break Ramdas.
Yes. Good morning to Ronnie. Outside the stump, cut away for 4. Disdainfully cut away down to backward point. And that takes the score to 72 for 2.
And the key to playing that shot is that he covered the off stump. So once the off stump is covered, there's no threat of the ball hitting your stumps. And again, taking that back face towards the ball and punching that ball down behind point for 4. Alzari Joseph guilty this time of being wide and too short and inviting that square cut. So a good shot from 2 good shots from Solozano in this over that brought him 2 4s.
And it has actually double the tally of Joseph. He had none for 8 of 6.3. Now after 6.5, he has none for 16.
Well, 8 and 8 is 16.
Yes.
If 8 and 8 are 20, I'm in Gula. You have Bikram Das in stitches. Didn't know he was in the box.
But this one keeps low. Plays away out to point.
But although it kept low, he kept his eye on the ball, and it still hit the center of the bat. So he should not be too perturbed. He should tell himself, look, I am in. And you have to stay in because he doesn't want to leave it for the next batsman to come in. So it's important that Solozano continues to show a fight here, and Jason Mohammed obviously must support him. Hello. I'm very well.
72 for 2.
Score is 72 for 2. Solozano is 37. Jason Mohammed is 4.
These two will be looking to play out the next half an hour or so, go into lunch without losing a further wicket. And see how it goes from there. This is a delivery that turns sharply, taken down the leg side by Hamilton.
This is going to be a good challenge for Jason Mohammed as well. He's not a tall man. He's very short in stature. And he has to try to negate the bounce from Cornwall if there's any on offer, but also look to score.
Some of the best batsmen we've seen in the world over the years, they are all short. Brian Lara, Sachin Tendulkar, Hanif Mohammed,
David Boone,
Don Bradman, Sunil Ambris,
Sunil
Gavaskar, sorry,
Javin Miandad. See, again, this is the difficulty I'm having. They're not looking to score off Cornwall. They want to bat him. And by looking to bat, you're so defensive. More often than not, one is going to go to hand. That ball inside edge went down behind square on the leg side. So he has to be careful here. Uses his feet.
This is the right approach.
But he's going to be out caught. He
uses his feet, but it hung in the air. Mohammed stands there in disbelief. He was looking to go over mid-off. And that one took the inner part of the bat. It struck low down on the bat as well, and he's out caught at mid-on. With mid-on running back has taken the catch. So Joseph completes the catch. It's now 72 for 3, and it's a good time after your description of that dismissal to bring in Bridge Parsnat and Alan Gopal.
Well, again, Vinod, we're seeing Jason Mohammed with no energy at all coming from his body language. Very low in confidence. Nothing coming out of him. He used his feet, yes, with no conviction. He hit the ball. He didn't hit through the ball. Just pushed it. And Shino Berridge, the good athlete that he is, just ran to his left and took a very good catch. I would say it was just a give-up shot. He didn't. There was no conviction at all of hitting it down the ground. And he paid the price. And he's failed yet again for the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force. And Jason Mohammed needs to introspect now. He has to go and look at himself and really ask the question, do I want to play 4-day cricket for Trinidad and Tobago, or am I just towing the line here because there's no conviction at all in him wanting to play this cricket, and I'm quite disappointed actually in the way he's gotten out. They're 270 runs still away from victory, but that is a very, very poor shot from a senior batsman. As I say, good morning to Adam Gopal, and before you start to speak, I have to say goodbye because Bridge Parsnaf is blowing into my left ear.
Thank you, Philo Wallace. So Trinidad and Tobago losing their third wicket early on this morning, 72 for 3. Jason Mohammed just been dismissed by Rakeem Cornwall. A good catch, a running catch by Berridge. And certainly Leeward Island Hurricanes will certainly think you're on top of this, Bridge Parashram. She joined me this morning. And welcome again for this pre-lunch session.
Good morning to you, Alan. Good morning to all our viewers and listeners, where you may be. Most a special good morning to Vernon Springer and all you guys in St. Kitts, Nevis, Antigua, and the Lesser Antilles in Barbados across the globe. I don't believe a single word that Philo Wallace says about Bridge Parsnat.
So you see Zari Joseph continuing from the northern end. Jeremy Solozano has looked very good and comfortable against him. I could look at Solozano bat until tomorrow if he continues that way.
He's disciplined, he's focused. This guy's been training during the holidays when the other guys was having a good time for the Christmas and so on. His father had him training and working in the open patches of land they could find. Wherever they could find a place to train, they've been training. His father said to me that he's going to have a good season. and I believe him.
Coming nicely forward to that delivery there, and he shows a lot of confidence in himself, playing full face to Zari Joseph. But unfortunately for Jason Mohammed, he would have. I just spoke to Jason's dad outside, and he came in just in time to see him in
out?
the middle. Unfortunately, he didn't get 100 that he's been looking for, and he seemed to be really struggling for Trinidad and Tobago this year. And certainly, he would have to reconcile his thinking whether he wants to play this game of 4-day or stick to the 50 over format.
All that he's doing is presenting more problems to the selectors because they don't have too many options. I understand, because I was trying to talk to Tony Gray to find out what's happening with his cricket. China has declined at the bottom of the ladder.
And that's bothersome as well. They don't have much options. I'm trying to figure out also where are all the players that have been developing over the years.
Right, so our producer, Ma'am Chen, has come up with something here today. Something magical is happening. Magical. Yes, at 10:30 a wicket, at 11 and
well pitch delivery by Joseph. They had a short pitch delivery, and Solozano comfortably evading that short pitch bouncer. One of the few deliveries we've seen rising to the height of keeper Hamilton, taking that one above chest.
But I thought this morning that Alzari Joseph should have been given the new ball, honestly, to come back. He has got the pace, he's got the control, he's got the bounce, he's got the aggression, he has everything, and he's got the...
And Louis, actually, I thought he would have done the trick in terms of delivering for his captain. And then when you see the breakthroughs being made from the other end, from Berridge, he's not looking at, your, as we said earlier on, Philo, potential of a fast bowler, but the ones who have been delivering in terms of this specific game. I think he has come in a good time, and he's an experienced player, and he needs to actually now take that responsibility after taking the ball from Louis and Berridge, who had continued well and getting two early breakthroughs for the Hurricanes.
Joseph charges in, passes the umpire, bowls to Solozano, plays the square, and backward of point position, goes to the boundary, steers it away, using the wrist at the last moment. At one point of time, he's going to go square in the offside to the left of the fielder, and he used the wrist and just control it along the ground. And what he did initially is getting the back foot towards the off stump, covering those stumps very quickly, and in position to play that lovely square cut down to the backward point boundary. He goes on to 41. The score advances to 76 for 3.
Yes, and Vinod Mamcha was making a very important observation. He said every half an hour we could keep tumbling on the Red Force team, and he said 10:30, 11:30. But joining Solozano is Kipper Ramden, and he needs to produce big here today. He needs to come trumps, and let's hope that he doesn't go till 12 o'clock.
We have to wait and see. This next delivery played on the onside. A good length delivery, forcing Solozano to change his mind and just pushing it off the body towards the mid-wicket area. That's the end of the over from Alzari Joseph, operating from the northern or the commentary end at this Banlar Cricket Academy. Nice, cool conditions now. The sun has left us somewhat romancing with the clouds out there. But few dark patches, white clouds on the eastern horizon, so no immediate threat of rain. 76 for the loss of 3. Ramden yet to score. Solozano on 41. So 18 the first innings, 41 now. So he's having a very good game for China. He continues to show that he's in form and he's disciplined, and he's working very hard to establish himself.
Well, it continues to show that he's disciplined, and he has come up with a mission, an objective to occupy the crease, dispatch bad delivery, rotate the strike, and he has not just training or practice, but he has shown that determination, that grit. He's looking to achieve a goal, and certainly, as we see Cornwall as he bowls to Ramden, a lot of appeal. He's up in the air and he's sending him back to the pavilion. Up goes the finger of umpire Ramdani. So umpire Ramdani raises his finger for an LBW.
There are bees on the ground. There's bees, yes. Locusts or bees, I'm not sure. It had to be either bees or locusts. What are the two? So Dinesh Ramdin is out. There's a major blow struck by Raheem Cornwall with his first ball here this morning. And that's a crucial blow. Chantibigo Red Force in serious trouble. Really serious trouble at this point in time. This half an hour did not work out. It has changed. This first ball from Raheem Cornwall has struck the vital, decisive blow for the Red Force team to take out the captain, the most experienced batsman in this team. Walks away dejectedly because he was very disappointed with the decision given by Dinesh Ramdani, the umpire, seeing the ball. We have to wait for the replay. We just don't want to comment too much on what we're not sure about because we are behind the stumps and very far away and high up. And this commentator's boot, 76 for the loss of 4. So Leeward Islands Hurricanes need 6 more wickets to win this match. They are well and truly has got to take a firm grip on this match with this important strike.
Yes, certainly. As we see the replay coming up on the screen from our technical man, Dinesh Mahabir. I think he struck plumb in front. He trying to work that straight delivery onto the one side and struck plumb in front.
Hard to tell, in my opinion, because of off spinner and he was going down the track.
Well,
so the ball coming into the right hand and he's trying to work it. You can see the stroke. If you look at it closely anymore, he's trying to flick it off the pads. So the ball is coming into the pads. As if you track that ball, you will see probably he's going to go beyond the leg stump. Probably going to miss that leg stump because he's done.
Yeah, I would.
It's coming into him. But the umpire is sure that he was out, so we even can't dispute that. A drop catch.
Drop catch at Manachili Point in and out, as we see.
A drop catch, and this is what it is. Raheem Cornwall, since he has taken the ball, the magic has taken over. Right, so he's a right-arm magician from the southern end. 76 for the loss of 4. Got 4 wickets in the first innings, and he has picked up 1 already. Comes in, bowls to Correa, strokes his ball, smothers his spin, no run.
Yeah, so Correa will need to get some runs in this innings. He didn't get anything that affected the scorecard that first inning. But certainly Raheem Cornwall continues to prize wickets here for his team. That one turning, bouncing and moving away from the left-handed Correa here. So Cornwall seems to be getting a bit more turn in those rough patches that's in the front of Correa.
Yeah, they made a duck with 2 balls in the first innings. A good delivery and quicker one. Taken chest high by the wicketkeeper, Jamar Hamilton, who is about 5'2", 5'3", we're not sure. So you're looking at the monitor, the catch coming up, a drop catch. Very quickly coming off the knee or the thigh, the close infielder.
And that one is in and out. Pushed that one a bit stiff onto him. But a straightforward catch at it.
Yeah, it's straightforward. I don't think his eyes was on that ball. He missed that completely. He didn't respond very late. In actual fact, he responded when he got hit by the ball.
So Zari Joseph will continue here from the northern end.
76 for the loss of 4. Chantibigo in serious trouble. Leeward Islands Hurricanes, they are on top. They continue to be on top. They started the first day, and Munson Hodge played a magnificent innings of 158, 425. Always a big and challenging total.
Outside of someone that one is drive, pushed away to the man at deep square for 1 from Solozano. So they have just been able to add 51 runs this morning, and they have picked up 4 wickets, Bridge. So Volcanoes would certainly think they have come to the task. And they have actually on top of this game.
Yes, they have
Obviously.
they have taken firm grip on this match right now. They can't lose this game again. Right? It is in their favor to win. So all you have to see is stay focused, be workmanlike, put in more extra energy, more enthusiasm, right? And they will have that because they want to win this match. They want to go back with a victory, and that'll be great for in terms of their chances of advancing up the points table. And what they do when you win away from home, it shows the quality of your team and the player, the mindset and the preparation that was done. So a lot of work done to prepare this team.
And what happens when you lose at home?
When you lose at home, it means you did not prepare properly and you didn't play properly. Or you might not have the right combination or composition of the team.
So certainly losing consecutively here at this venue and heading to a 5th consecutive loss would really not put things in a good state for this Red Force unit. Joseph pulls to Solozano outside the offside.
And he's bowled him.
Oh, bowl him.
So massive defeat here at the Banlar Cricket Academy.
Look at the replay here once again. Playing all over that delivery pitch, dead on the wicket, and Solozano bowled all over the place from.
Beauty of a ball. Beauty just on about that between the middle and leg stump. He didn't even touch the pads on his way. Swinging back to the left-hander. What a beauty, Alzari Joseph. This young man will go places.
So you see Joshua De Silva making his way to the middle, the wicket keeper of this Trinidad and Tobago unit. He joins Yannick Raya. Both batsmen yet to score. 78 for 5. So 5 wickets and 3 quick wickets as well in this last hour before lunch.
Well, these two guys are waiting for that ball, Alzari Joseph and Rakim Cornwall. They've been waiting all night long. They're planning in their mind that when they come here, they thought they might be starting here. I'm sure Rakim Cornwall expect to start. Joseph likewise. So they're preparing. So they're ready. This morning they had all those drills out there. The bowlers were bowling to the stump. And they feel the other guys were, they had the catching practices. Trinidad, they were in football practice. Right? Drill and a mini football game out on the southern side of the ground. The western side. This is Joseph. Bowls to Joshua De Silva. Good long delivery. And a loud appeal. Alzari Joseph is creating havoc here at the Banlar Cricket Academy. He has now dispatched the former batsman. Jeremy Solozano is in the dressing room and trying to recollect his thoughts.
A good first up delivery to Joshua De Silva. And that is what you want to do. Consistent pressure on the new batsman. And that one, giving him the opportunity there to appeal for LBW decision, but turned down by the umpire, Patrick Gustad. But a good piece of pressure bowling from the big Alzari Joseph.
Who goes in now, passes umpire Gustad, bowls to, and he's in trouble. Into the right. That force change. It is 78 for 6.
But we look at the replay shortly, and we try to figure that shot by De Silva.
It was no shot.
He seemed to want to go across the line, I think.
He was not playing any shot. Late reaction. Looks very, very bad. This is a schoolboy dismissal. What a way to be dismissed. There is no way.
It's going back on his back.
He did nothing. Did nothing. All he did is to make sure that the umpire had very little trouble in saying, look, sorry, my friend. It can't be plumber than that. You can't see nothing plumber than that because you see no storms.
Yes, he was going back and across. And a well-pitched delivery. Plumb in front. A little hesitation from the umpire to give that.
No, he was waiting for the batsman whether he's going to walk off, but he didn't want to go, so he said, sorry, my friend.
So as you see, Imran Khan making his way to the middle to join Yannick Karaya. So Karaya yet to score, and De Silva not troubling the scorecard here. And Imran Khan would want to certainly build a little partnership with Karaya, but the minute we speak about partnerships, we are seeing them making themselves back to the pavilion, which, and certainly that's a matter of time here, I should say.
Alzari Joseph charges in with 2 wickets, 2 wide outside the off stump, just excited and enthusiastic, gripping that ball a little tighter and not getting the ball, the leading arm right up and coming through, but very happy with the dismissal of Joshua De Silva, and I'm sure that when we look at it, very successful over here by Alzari Joseph, 2 important wickets now to him. Jeremy Solozano, and we saw that the young Joshua De Silva was shaping up well against Windies Volcanoes, but nothing in this match. So shaping well and not doing well is 2 different story.
Certainly no shape, so I should say, in that dismissal.
But there's no shape there. Umpire had no problem, absolutely none. Could start up maybe the easiest decision in his life.
Rakeem Cornwall will continue from the southern end as he bowls to Yannick Karaya, bringing him onto his front foot. Well pitched delivery. Karaya getting a life in that previous over when it was popped in and out of the fieldman in the short catching position. On his front foot, well played, good cover, good angle on the bat as well.
Alan, the first thing you do when the ball is short is to get the bat in front of you. To get the bat, you have that's the first thing you do. If you're going to get squared on, the bat must be there to play the ball down. Get on top of that ball. He did absolutely nothing. The bat was nowhere near in front of him. The bat was just behind him. So these guys need a lot of work. They have got to do a lot of work with these guys. Lovely shot there by Yannick Karaya, stroking it along the ground. But the pressure is kept there. There's a man in front of the bat. There's no freedom to come out and really drive at that ball. And this is good captaincy.
Yes, Rakeem Cornwall taking 2 early wickets here. Wicket of skipper Ramdin, a prize wicket. And the wicket of Jason Mohammed, a good running catch by Berridge it was. At mid-on.
A brilliant catch by Devon Thomas as well. And then Munson Hodge to start these proceedings, the dismissal.
And then Alzari Joseph, double strike, you would say, in that over, removing the informed Solozano and then following up by a good, well-pitched delivery to young Joshua De Silva. So the Hurricanes are totally in control of this game. And that's a few minutes before the lunch interval. These 2 batsmen will want to negotiate themselves to have some lunch.
Well, the real force in this match is the Leeward Islands, not Trinidad and Tobago.
Well, they are showing hurricane forces.
A powerful force. They've beaten Barbados in the first round, and to beat Barbados at Kensington, that's a major achievement. And to come to Trinidad and Tobago and beat them at the 3Ws, yes. And to come here and win against Trinidad and Tobago, that's also an achievement. They won by 1 wicket last year in a very close contest at the Queen's Park Oval. So they will continue their winning streak in Trinidad and Tobago. has demised it. So the accordion is still in play.
Not only it's totally unacceptable in terms of the way they have gotten themselves out here this morning. They have showed no fight, they have shown no grit, but you have seen purpose from the Hurricanes, and that purpose giving them all the rewards. When they batted with purpose. I think they bat themselves into this game from the first day. They were batting out 291 when they left here on Friday. They came on, they produced 425 on the board. They didn't enforce the follow on. They came, they made 168 declared for 6 when they have put a lot of pressure, put in 341 for victory. Trinidad and Tobago, Red Force, they are still 264 runs behind. A few minutes for lunch, but we would have thought that some partnerships would have been building among them. But certainly it seemed that they may have enough balls here to dismiss the entire team before lunch.
Practice makes perfect. The more you practice, the better you become. And that's what the guys have been doing. You look at across the world, and you look at most of the teams that they train and they practice.
I'm not seeing the energy, Bridge. I'm not seeing the energy from the players, the enthusiasm to score runs, to fight it,
But that has to come. Motivation comes from the leader of the team, comes from the coach of the team, and those who are close to the team. This is Joseph, fired up, full-length delivery, and you could see that young Daniel Sinclair reading that one, plays with the full face of the bat. That's a beautiful delivery by Alzari Joseph, full-length, force ball, force him to play.
Well, Trinidad cricket board, we need to go back at the drawing board as they depart, I think, tomorrow to go Jamaica. That certainly will not be an easy encounter against the Scorpions in their backyard. When you look at the performance of these guys, the selector's head might be ringing out here right now. And
well, they changed the selectors. They changed the chairman of selectors. I thought that was a problem for the team losing, but it's not that. They've changed. They brought a new chairman, and it ain't working.
Is it that they brought a new chairman? Is it the same players?
No, they have a new chairman of selectors. The problem, they were saying that the last chairman was not in agreement with some others. That was in the John public
but
in the domain.
Is it the same players being played, even though the selectors has been changed?
Almost the same players.
So there is no difference whether you change selectors or not. You have the same bunch of guys outside there. So you need to change your minds, your concept of thinking. Put value to your wicket. I'm not saying value being put outside there. And, there's been tumble over from Alzari Joseph and Rakeem Cornwall. They are just wrapping things up here.
These two guys are really doing the job for Leeward Islands Hurricanes. Good length delivery. Daniel Sinclair plays it confidently in the onside. And Sinclair, every time he comes to the wicket, he looks well organized. He looks disciplined. Looks like he's there and ready for the fight.
But you will need to transfer that into actually getting runs for your team. Transfer it into minutes, into hours of play. You can't just, look at, looking good and potentially has that quality in you. You need to transfer that into the middle, sticking it out for long hours.
Joseph, 3 for 21. And that's another sharp lifting delivery. And yeah. 78 for the loss of 8.
Yes, 8 wickets has been lost for 52 because they came in this morning 26 without loss, and so a really good performance here by the Hurricanes and their big fast bowler Alzari. And Trinidad and Tobago could only blame one thing: their batting. Their skill has not been up to par here because they are playing all the wrong shots for the right ball.
78 for the loss of... No, I'm not blaming anybody. They changed the team, and as we see it here now, that this team is in... Yannick Correa is yet to score. Brian Charles, he's out in the middle. We saw some pluck, some fight from him in the first innings. He really batted brilliantly in the first innings, played some delightful shots. He had 8 boundaries, 8 fours. And, when you look at the others, he had 39, himself and Shannon Gabriel.
A wonderful catch by wicketkeeper Hamilton there. That one rising and lifting onto Sinclair. And he's not the tallest of wicketkeepers, but I tell you, a good take from him. And if anyone said there's nothing in that on that pitch, I'm trying to figure out how Joseph was extracting that bounce and pace.
Very good pitch. 78 for 8. He's really charging and he's putting everything into his bowling. Brilliant spell here by Alzari Joseph. Brilliant and incisive. Made some major strikes as he gets in there. Bowl, short ball. But this one, a way swinger. You could see that young Baron Charles hurriedly pushing that bat and playing with the full face, controlling it along the ground. That's the end of a very successful over by Alzari Joseph. 10 overs.
Trinidad Red Force could ask for is for rain, and certainly there's lots of blue skies here at the Academy. Because early on there were some patches of clouds, and now it has cleared up beautifully. Good weather conditions for cricket, and the only thing could save them from not being defeated for a 5th consecutive game here would be the rains, and certainly there is no chance of that. As we see Cornwall continuing here from the southern end, he'll be bowling to Yannick Karaya, and quite a tumble of wickets on 78.
Yes, Joseph 4, Cornwall 2. This ball kept low, but Correa was able to play it out. Squeeze that one out to the outside door. 78 for 8. The scorecard does not tell us a very good tale.
Yes, we saw the demise of Ramdin, Solozano, De Silva, Sinclair, Khan. So I think it's 4 ducks and 5 wickets was lost on 78.
Well, Carnival is some way away. Christmas is far too long from now. So that duck farm is getting bigger and bigger.
Well, Christmas has been completed here that season in Trinidad and Tobago, and a lot of ducks, normally is cooked with some nice coconut milk, Bridge. But I tell you here this evening, it will be a big pot.
This is Hurricane.
What will happen here, as we saw yesterday, we will see the umpires actually going to continue play.
Yes.
For at least 10 minutes.
78 for the loss of 9.
Well, I've not even seen Shannon Gabriel make his way onto the middle, because I think it was probably taken him by surprise.
Good time to invite our producer, Vinod Mamchan.
Yes, he's making his way now.
To bring in with Philo Wallace. Come over. Yes. So it's good time. I want to say thank you very much, Vidal, for having me on the broadcast team. I mean, if I say I be a prolific wicket-taker to the Leeward Islands Hurricanes, but it's good time to welcome the voice of Omar Khan for the first time, and Philo Wallace.
Thank you very much, Bridge, and thank you very much to our producer, Vinod Mamchan, 360 Degrees Cricket 360 production here at the Brown Cricket Academy. And it has certainly been quite a dramatic morning here, Philo Wallace, for the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force. Last, 58 for 2. And then they have really dramatically collapsed 78 for 9 now, Philo Wallace. What do you think about the state of Trinidad and Tobago Red Force, at this situation in this game? Really disappointing for the few spectators who have shown up. I'm sure disappointing for all, cricket lovers who really, would want to see Trinidad and Tobago cricket improve, but there's no signs of that at this point in time.
Well, they started at 26 of 4 loss, and to be 78 for 9, just at lunch they're going to extend by half an hour. You've 26 and 78 is 52 runs, and you've lost 9 wickets. It is not constipation; it's just diabolical.
I love that, and Shannon Gabriel is almost bat and pad by Raheem Cornwall. And Shannon Gabriel doesn't give a lot of confidence to this going the extra half an hour. I think it will finish much earlier than that.
But his name having no C's, so there's no confidence at all. Obviously, Shannon Gabriel very disappointed in his batsman as he faces delivery and works in the leg side. But I want to know what the executive members in that Trinidad and Tobago's box up there are thinking about this team that came last year with the same coaching staff and management unit, and you've seen no reason why they should not have been fired. I believe they should be fired.
Well,
it is diabolical what is happening here. You're having the best team being produced to you, and you're to perform. Something is wrong with what is happening inside that back room, and it's reflected on the field of play.
Well,
you're seeing Omar Khan. Just give me a minute. We're seeing a lot of live people moving around the cricket field dead. So your backroom staff is dead staff. They're not pushing out any energy for these young men. If you look at the Leeward Island Hurricanes backroom staff, they're all energetic and out there and showing the enthusiasm. Trinidad and Tobago not.
Well, Philo, I can understand your emotions. I can understand how you feel about it, because similarly, at the end of the regional Super 50, I told Vinod Mamchan. At the end of the regional Super 50 last year, I told Vinod Mamchan when we did not qualify for the final, when we were defeated by CCC.
You go for 91
in the semi-final for 91. I told Vinod Mamchan there should have been investigation launched into the performance of the team and what took place, because at that team, the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force had the strongest team they could put on the field. They had Bravos, Pollard, Narayan, everybody.
You're right. I cannot win. I'm giving you the best team, the best players in Trinidad and Tobago to work with.
Exactly.
And this is what you're giving me on my return on investment? I'm sorry, heads has to rule. This backroom staff shouldn't even go to PR International Airport tomorrow morning.
Well, the Trinidad and Tobago Cricket Board has called elections for the 16th of January, Philo. And I expect that if the new executive does not sit down and really do a complete analysis and evaluation of what is happening with our cricket, then we are moving nowhere.
Today cricket is not benefiting Trinidad and Tobago's cricket, and that's the first thing they need to get rid of.
Alzari Joseph in now and bowls to Brian Charles. Brian Charles plays into the mid-on area confidently. So, it's really sad. It's really a sad state of affairs.
It is a sad state of affairs. There are 5 ducks. Alan Gopal was supposed to bring one today. That would have made 6. But his duck that he was going to bring was supposed to be Curry. But when you look at this kind of batting performance, this is a very, very poor batting performance. On the surface, that is still offering something to the bowlers. Alzari Joseph is running in like a man who is reformed and getting the ball to do what he wants it to do and picking up wickets. And you're telling me that Trinidad and Tobago Red Force should be in this position at 78 for 9, trailing by 264 runs?
There's a loud appeal here for LBW as Alzari Joseph beats Brian Charles on the front foot. Not out, says the umpire, and the ball has gone down to the boundary for 4-leg byes. So they are finally off the 78, Philo. They have gone off that 78. They're gone to 82 now, 82 for 9.
A very good delivery there from Alzari Joseph, who continues to bowl well. That ball just pitching outside or something, going further away and twisting Brian Charles up.
But, Philo, what is ironic about this whole situation is at the end of the first day's play, or at the end of the Leewards first inning when they scored 425, and Hodge had scored 158. I had a walk through the crowd, and the spectators were complaining that the wicket was a slow wicket, a dead wicket, and does not augur well for the Trinidad and Tobago team and their bowlers and their batsmen. And here we are now seeing Alzari Joseph generating pace and bounce off this wicket.
And swinging the ball. So it's just about the effort. I have always said it's about the effort you put in. It's about the effort. And what you put in, Omar,
is what you get
out.
Exactly.
Trinidad and Tobago Red Force bowlers put in 0 in the first innings. They got lashes. They had tried a little harder in the second innings, and they got reward. But their batsmen continue to fail them because their batsmen have lacked the confidence to score runs. You have a backroom staff that needs to drag these young batsmen into the nets. When the game is finished, it's no getting on to no bus and going to no hotel and chilling out. I'm going to take you in the nets for 20 minutes, half an hour.
Well, actually, there are no buses for the Trinidad and Tobago team. They come and they travel on their own. Anyhow, that's another story, fellow. That's another story. Let's concentrate on the cricket.
The green and white buses don't bring the team here?
That's the Leeward Islands team.
So the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force players are driving themselves here?
Yes.
Oh, Lord, they're big. No, it's wrong.
So that brings it over to an end. Alzari Joseph, 11 overs, 5 maidens, 21 runs, 4 wickets, Philo. Fantastic smell by young Alzari Joseph. I hope Mr. Lockhart Sebastian, who is the selector, West Indies selector here, watching this game. I know they are looking at picking the test team for the first test against England, which is in Barbados, Philo. Are you going to be there, Philo?
I'm hoping to be there. I'm not totally impressed with the surface at Kensington Oval. It looks very scratchy when I watch it on the stream. But Alzari Joseph obviously will have to be close to selection of that 15-man squad. He's bowled wonderfully well this season, and he continues to improve.
Well, that's good because he's come back from a serious injury, and he has been recuperating all the time. And it's good to see a young West Indian fast bowler, trying to work on his fitness and get himself up to the level and the standard that is required for international cricket.
He's putting in the effort here, which is required. And it's sad. We saw Shannon Gabriel as well putting in the effort. There's a rumor that he's not going up to Jamaica because of personal reasons, and these things need to be investigated as well. Because if you're having Alzari Joseph bowling as well as he's doing, and Shannon played this game of his batting now, and he bowled wonderfully well, he's not going to play that game in Jamaica, then you don't know when that squad is selected, if they're going to be pulled to a camp in Barbados or something. So
well, my understanding is there's going to be a camp. There's going to be a camp around from the 15th, 16th of January.
Is there a boot camp?
Well, you've got to ask your new coach, Mr. Pybus,
Yeah.
what sort of camp he's going to have. Richard Pybus.
I hope he has a good camp and not camp out.
There goes Shannon Joseph. Shannon Gabriel, high and hard over the mid-off area down to the boundary for 4. So Shannon has shown the recognized batsman of the Trinidad and Tobago team that if you are positive and you look to play your shots, you may get through.
But the batsmen before Shannon Gabriel, all they did was want to bat him, keep Cornwall out.
Exactly.
They didn't look to score, and that is really the problem.
Positive. Vivian Richards always used to say, you got to go out there with a positive intent. Your body language says a lot. And there goes Shannon again. High and hard again, this time over the extra cover area and down to the boundary.
And apparently, when Brian Charles, I think it was, who got out, he went in and he said, boy, you stopped me from scoring a 50.
Well,
and that is the kind of attitude you want from
exactly.
a fast bowler. So he does cherish his hand, Shannon Gabriel. It's just the other 8 that wouldn't see the importance of scoring. They need to understand the importance of scoring. You need to battle along,
Shannon
fight
Gabriel
out
has
situations.
raced on to 8 with 2 boundaries. The score is on to 90 for 9 now.
Well, they need 252 more runs to win. But that will have to come next year.
And Vidal Mamchan in the background is saying that we're going to win as Shannon Gabriel's good. High and hard over the bowler's head, down to the long on area where Alzari Joseph comes around and makes a stop with his foot.
Well,
Doesn't look very organized there with that footwork. Philo. Yes, you got to be careful that he didn't injure himself.
Agree.
Because Shannon Gabriel goes again, and this time he slaps it past the extra cover area down to the long off area for a single. So Shannon is not wasting any time here, Philo. He's going after Cornwall. He's attacking, and he doesn't want to stick around. He doesn't want to stick around on this block. He wants to get some runs to his name.
Yeah, well, obviously, if you just joke around at Cornwall, he's going to get Shannon Gabriel. He said, look, if he's going to flight the ball, I'm going to use my feet and hit him over the top, and he's done that successfully. Last ball, he banged it down to long off for a single. But the intention you're seeing from Shannon Gabriel is what the other 8 batsmen should have done. Look to be aggressive to Cornwall. He is the key bowler for the Leewards. Alzari Joseph has bowled wonderfully well. But if the batsman had the confidence to take on Cornwall, maybe they would have batted Alzari Joseph a lot better. But because of the negative mindset, the Leeward Island Hurricane bowlers are all over them like white on rice.
Exactly, and as I keep saying, Philo, you would have set the tone with your positive attitude, the way you go out there and show your intent and your, as I said, body language and the way you go out there. But if you go out there and you just look to keep the ball out and just play, block it off and try to defend, it would not work on the last day wicket here.
See, tickets to Omar is that I am a big believer you have franchise cricket. How important do the regional boards see these franchises? I don't know. But they should have specialists coming in and working with these guys. They should have specialist batting consultants, specialist people coming in to speak to them when they're at home and stuff. You don't need those guys to travel. Once the consultants come in and do their work while they're at home playing these games, on the road they should be okay. But because you're seeing the same old dead, dry-up people around the cricket, it's reflecting out there. There are too many dead people in our cricket.
That description, Philo, leaves a lot for the minds to think about.
Well, Omar is the truth. Trinidad and Tobago, you cannot tell me all the money that's being injected in this cricket for the results to be like this. I think that they need to show more oomph in their cricket.
Philo, well, I know you're very emotional and you're very hurt.
It's a sport cricket.
Yeah, I agree. It's
Then
sport
Trinidad and
cricket.
Tobagonians are going to complain why only one man is in the West Indies team. You can't get into West Indies team if you're playing cricket like this. This is 4-day cricket. People are watching this all over the world. And this is what they're seeing. The English are laughing at us.
As Alzari Joseph, Shannon Gabriel is playing a lot more cautiously to Alzari Joseph. He is looking to keep out Alzari Joseph and probably look to get the opportunity to attack when he faces Raheem Cornwall. So 93 for 9. Sorry state of affairs here for the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force. Another loss is
It's going to be detrimental
facing
to Trinidad and Tobago. They go to Jamaica. And Jamaica always play well at home. They need to buckle up and realize that they're not only playing for themselves, they're playing for a country that loves cricket.
It's a short one and Shannon Gabriel cuts it. Very well cut indeed.
You know, you only jog in a single.
Well, yeah, strangely enough, Shannon Gabriel, it would have been an easy 2 runs, but apparently he is waiting for Cornwall.
If he does get that far. But when you look at Shannon Gabriel's approach here, Omar, is that you can see that he cherishes his hand. He challenged Cornwall and he was successful. He's the only batsman who really challenged Cornwall. Mind you, he's a number 11. But you can see that he's batting with a purpose. Brian Charles obviously is going to try to hang in there like he did in the first innings. But it's a very disappointing batting display from talented batsmen.
And I'm sure that there are a lot of anxious, the Leeward Islands are anxious to wrap up this game before the lunch interval.
Well, it's 10
And
minutes
a
for
lot
us.
of people who are preparing to have an early lunch will have to wait for another half an hour, it seems, because both.
No, but this is very good bowling display from Alzari Joseph and Cornwall. The two of them have combined quite nicely to obviously break the backbone of the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force batting. And it just goes to show that the hard work that this young man Alzari Joseph has put in, and he's reaping the rewards of such hard work, similar to Jeremy Solozano.
And this is well bowled again by Alzari Joseph, right up there, full of length, seemed to cut in a little bit to the batsman, but Brian Childs covered up, push it forward to the point area. So that brings an end to the Alzari Joseph's over. He's completed 12 overs, 5 maidens, 22 runs, 4 wickets. And Raheem Cornwall is going to continue from the southern end, and Shannon Gabriel is looking forward to this encounter, Philo.
He's having a long discussion with Brian Charles. Obviously, it's 20 minutes up to get to the halfway, 12:30. So they might be deciding, look, take it easy. Or Shannon's going to say, look, I'm going to go full Monty. But it's been a very good bowling display from the Leeward Islands. Good captaincy.
Oh, yeah.
From Kieran Powell as well.
I think they were very positive, Philo, yesterday when they declared with 10 overs to go before the end of the day's play. It clearly showed that their intent was to get full points out of this game and to get victory. So they wanted sufficient time to have to bowl long Trinidad and Tobago. But if they knew that they would have had this situation this morning where Trinidad and Tobago would have collapsed, they have more than sufficient time.
Maybe they'll give him Monster Hush opportunity to score
Another 100.
Another 100. But obviously, they're looking at a team perspective.
Of course, yes,
Get
exactly.
them in and try to get wickets. But it didn't happen yesterday. They've picked up 9 before lunch. So well done to them.
Shannon Gabriel goes down the wicket and drives it down to the long on area. And again, Alzari Joseph has to use his some footwork, football skills down there by Alzari Joseph as he stops it from going into the boundary. Shannon Gabriel has collected 2. He moves on to 14. Probably. This time he's bowled. And that's the end of the game. Shannon Gabriel makes room for himself to cut, misses, and is bowled by Cornwall. And the game has come to an end. Trinidad and Tobago bowled out for 96. 96 all out in their second innings. So they did not get the 100 as was predicted by Alan Gopal. And they did not survive the half an hour extra. So you all now have an afternoon off. All Cricket 360. Producer, you could officially give your team. half half the pope, you know.
It is.
As Shannon Gabriel dejectedly makes his way out of the ground, walks back to the dressing room, and the Trinidad and Tobago team would be totally, disappointed with this performance. They're strolling out to shake hands with the Leeward Islands team here, led by their captain, Dinesh Ramdin. And there was a lot of talk before the game where the manager read the ratak for the Trinidad and Tobago team, saying that, their performance leaves a lot to be desired. It's a new year, Philo, and he wants to see better performances. But that certainly didn't come and didn't take place in this game.
No, when you look at it, Omar, it's been a very disappointing start. They lost the last game last year, the first game. They've started the new year with a loss as well, and a terrible loss, a worse loss than against the Volcanoes. The Hurricanes have come here well prepared, well focused. They won the toss at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy here in Truro, but they batted first. They got a massive first innings of 425. And from the outset, from the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force first innings, there was no enthusiasm at all. Everything was just low-keyed and very, dreary. And they went to the second innings. The Leewards, they got up to 160. They set them a mammoth target in their second innings. And again, the bowlers ran in for the Leeward Island Hurricanes and bowled well. And bowled out Trinidad and Tobago Red Force for 96. Less than 100. So it tells that Trinidad and Tobago Red Force, they need a lot. There's a lot left to be desired in relation to how they're being prepared, what is being said in that dressing room. You cannot tell me that the quality of players in this Trinidad and Tobago Red Force man-to-man are not better than 96. I cannot believe it. There's too much talent within the Red Force team.
Exactly.
And too much money being invested in cricket in Trinidad and Tobago for these players to respond by just giving their return on investment as 96. It is a very, very poor performance.
Philo, Leeward Islands never used to beat us. I can't recall. They used to be the whipping boys of the regional 4-day tournament. Trinidad and Tobago always defeated the Leeward Islands when they come to Trinidad, and when you even go to the Leeward Islands. So it's very disappointing and very, heartbreaking to come here and see the ease in which the Leeward Islands has defeated the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force in this game. They have outplayed us in all departments, the batting, bowling, fielding, and it's really, really disappointing. And as you say, it's the best. It's probably one of the best teams that Trinidad and Tobago could put out at this point in time, with all the available players. Ramdin coming back as captain, Jason Mohammed not in the best of form. Kyle Hope, who's been, the international player or the foreign player. Solozano has been in good form. Amir Django, who had a good season with the CCC in the regional Super 50. Joshua De Silva making his debut season. So it's as you said, Philo, it's a talented team. It's a team there with potential, but you got to harness that potential and get the guys to believe in themselves. Get them to understand that playing for your country and playing at this level, it takes a lot more than just showing up on the field and expecting things to happen. You got to make it happen.
It's important, obviously, Omar, that Kevin Williams and his staff, they need now to sit down with these guys before they go off to Jamaica. Who maybe.
Well, Vinod had mentioned that the Jamaican team, the team for Jamaica has already been selected. Vinod, are there any changes? He cannot reveal that. He cannot. He doesn't want to reveal it.
It is
So it's
important.
going to be interesting to see which teams goes to Jamaica, because I've heard that Shannon Gabriel is not going. Fella, you mentioned that Shannon Gabriel is not going.
That's what I heard through the grapevine. That
Through
he's
the
not going
grapevine.
for personal reasons.
Well,
But
the
when
grapevine is always good information.
when you look at it, the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force, they started there at 26 of outlaws. Shea Hope and Jeremy Solozano weathered the storm yesterday, and they started enterprisingly this morning. Hope was first to go, actually. He was caught by Monson Hodge, Sheena Berrins driving at an outswing on length at Gully. He went for 17, and he only faced 49 balls. Amir Django, he then joined Solozano, and he looked good until he played an injudicious shot, and he was caught by Devon Thomas of Berrins again for 8. Jason Mohammed, he came and he joined Jeremy Solozano, who was there. Jason Mohammed continues to be a problem for Trinidad and Tobago. He only scored 4. He was caught by Alzari Joseph or Raheem Cornwall. And Jeremy Solozano was then joined by his captain, Dinesh Ramdin. And he went, only facing 2 balls, LBW to Raheem Cornwall without scoring. Then Yannick Corrad joined Solozano. He was bowled by Alzari Joseph. A ball that came back in from outside the off-stump. He went for top score 42, continuing his good form. Solozano. Then Joshua De Silva. He didn't last as long as a snow queen in the sun. He was LBW to Alzari Joseph without scoring. Imran Khan came and he also went bowl Alzari Joseph, who was into a very good spell without scoring. Daniel St. Clair, he came and he was caught by Jamal Hamilton off Alzari Joseph without scoring. And then Yannick Correa was caught by Devon Thomas at slip off Raheem Cornwall without scoring. He faced some 16 balls. Another batting problem for the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force in relation to Yannick Correa. Brian Charles and Shannon Gabriel, they combined, and then Shannon Gabriel, he used a long handle for 14 runs from 15 balls. And before he was bowled by Cornwall for 14, 96 all out. They only batted 39.3 overs. So a very disappointing batting display. They handed the Leeward Island Volcanoes a victory by 246 runs. So when you look at it, Omar Khan, well done to the Leeward Island Volcanoes. They're bowling. Jeremiah Louis, who started this morning, 8 overs, 2 maidens, 10 runs, no wicket. Raheem Cornwall, 9.3 overs, 4 maidens, 29 runs, 3 wickets. Alzari Joseph, 12 overs, 4 maidens, 22 runs, 4 wickets. Terrence Ward, 2 overs, 6 runs, no wickets. Sheena Berrens, who started this morning, 8 overs, 3 maidens, 19 runs, 2 wickets. So a very good bowling display from the Leeward Island Hurricanes on a surface that they keep saying is flat. But what I saw today is good seam bowling from a well-oiled unit. Vincent Benjamin and also the assistant coach Cornwall will be very happy to see that the young players have carried out the instructions, execute the plan, and you also have to give credit to Powell, the captain. I thought he led this Leeward Island Hurricanes team very, very well. He didn't contribute a lot with the bat, but you can see him on the field being the man in charge, and the executions was perfect. Congratulations to the Leeward Island Hurricanes. I thought they played wonderfully well, and they deserve this victory against a very depressed Trinidad and Tobago Red Force.
Yeah, well, wrapped up there, Philo. Complete analysis, the scoreboard, the bowling analysis, and as you said, you know, Vinod Mamchan and the commentary team led by Philo Wallace, Bridge Prasnat, Rani Bikram Singh, Alal Gopal. We had somebody else who was here. Glenn Dwarika and Dinesh Mahabir, the analysis and the statistician who provided all the information for us here. So once again, thanks to Cricket 360. January the 17th, when we host the regional 4-day fixture between Trinidad and Tobago and the Barbados Pride. Trinidad and Tobago Red Force and Barbados Pride, and it will be a day-night game starting at 2 p.m. on Thursday the 17th. So we look forward to you all joining us here again at the Barnard Cricket Academy on the 17th of January for the 5th round match, which will be a 4th round match for Trinidad and Tobago Red Force, when we hope that things will be better. The elections would have been completed, and Philo Wallace will be in a better mood to bring you some commentary. Wrap up here from the Barnard Cricket Academy. It was a pleasure being here, and all the best to all our viewers and listeners who have been following this live stream from the Barnard Cricket Academy.